Fuck
it.
you.
All right, here we go. Yo, what is up, folks? Welcome back to another stream. We have returned with another weekly stream. Hope you guys enjoy the GIF. Decided to go with some Dragon Ball. What better GIF than to use than Goku himself powering up? Hope you guys are all doing well though. Before we even begin, as always, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to us all. Me, Shinobi, and Batman. All our stuff's in the description. We have plenty of content between you guys. We just dropped a new video, Kakashi and Guy versus the Akatsuki. It's on the main page of my channel. It's the first video you'll see.
Go check that out.
Yeah, it came out pretty well.
Everything
I think
was on
people seem to
point.
enjoy it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
first of all, thanks for all the support on the last few streams. One stream almost has 80k views. That's insane. So I appreciate that.
Be like that.
Any recommendations at all? Please let us know for for streams, whether that's tier lists, whether that's reactions, live debates, whatever it may be. Let us know, and we'll do that. But today, a lot of you guys asked a lot of good questions. Pre-established, pre-stream questions. A lot of good questions here. So, of course, feel free to ask questions in the chat. Super chats take priority. We'll answer your questions first. But as you guys do that, we shall begin with the questions here. So, first question that was asked, which is fairly interesting, is how do you think the Sannin would fare against KCM1 Naruto? So my answer to this would be, simply put, unfortunately, empirically it is heavily displayed that the Sannin pale in comparison to someone of KCM1 Naruto's caliber, clearly. KCM1 Naruto's speed far surpasses what the Sannin have ever produced, empirically speaking. Excluding Orochimaru with prep time, having Edo's obviously, the Sannin would very likely get blitzed and hit hard with KCM1 Naruto's high AP arsenal, Bijou bombs, Rasen shurikens, etc. The probability of the Sannin being triumphant is certainly statistically improbable and insignificant, to be quite honest, because there's virtually no scenario where they'd be triumphant. So that would be my take on that, if you guys want to give yours on the Sannin versus KCM1 Naruto.
Yeah, so Sage Mode Naruto and the Pain Arc by himself already surpassed that one of the likes of Jiraiya, who is blatantly Sannin. And then you have KCM1, who is an evolutionary step, if you will, beyond Stage Mode. So no one besides VT Raikage was on par with speed in terms of KCM1 Naruto at that time. And he's literally the fastest shinobi in the current existence, besides people like, Madara and later parts of the war. But until that point, KCM1 Naruto and B and Raikage are the fastest shinobi. So they won't have much of a chance to even get into Sage Mode, or we're not including Edo's, of course. Then Tsunade is going to be the only one who could really tank some hits, but a Rasen Shuriken affects you on a molecular level, so even her regeneration durability wouldn't be much of a factor. So yeah, it comes down to speed and just the raw AP of the Rasen Shurikens, and even he can summon clones too. And even one clone took on the third Raikage by himself. So KCM1 Naruto is going to take on all of them, even collectively.
Yeah, I agree. Did you have anything?
I mean, Tsunade could also infuse chakra into the other Sannin, but she only have enough time to even have that be much of a advantageous play. So yeah.
My bad. I didn't take a step, boy. What was the question?
There was a KCM1 Naruto versus all the Sannin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he just slams and beats him up.
He's too fast, and on top of that, there are other aspects that get overlooked, such as his AP. It's very high, obviously. His AP is
his durability is crazy.
His durability is insane.
He actually has durability while they don't.
Yeah, the only one with even remotely comparable durability is Tsunade.
Tsunade.
But even some of his abilities could be problematic to her. I think he has abilities that are strong enough to consider them disintegration type abilities, like the Rasen Shuriken. It affects you on a molecular level. The Bijou bomb's AP alone, who knows what kind of damage that would do to her if she gets directly hit by one. It's very likely that she would. Naruto's more than fast enough to make that happen. So even her durability would be put to the test, to be quite honest.
It really just comes to a point where it's the main question is what do you think the Sannin can beat Minato?
Exactly. It really comes down to that.
That's what you're really asking too. At the end of the day, Naruto, he has the same speed caliber and everything. He could do fucking 2,000 plus clones of himself if he wanted to.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he could pull a Madara feat and just be like, all right, I mean, make clones for, each Sonic or whatever and kind of give him some fun or some shit.
Yeah.
Bam Rising Guns, Rising Shurikens, you name it. Like, overall, he just outclasses them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's very blatant. Yeah, it's very blatant
Yeah.
empirically. And there's basically no legitimate argument for the counterpart conclusion. So, what's going on,
Even the
Momo?
clone killed
Yeah.
the third, bro. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's
like,
fucking
exactly.
impressive in itself,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Like Frog Song's the only way, but at the same time, you could technically argue that the Nine Tails could maybe help Naruto, maybe. And if that happens, he's still good. But either way, like
Mhm.
that, they wouldn't even get that far because
Nah,
Jiraiya would need
wouldn't.
time, and he's just so
Exactly.
fast. He's just so powerful.
They would never even be
to
able
the
to
point
set
where
that
he
up.
he speed blitz and fucking he'll kill Jiraiya and Orochimaru instantly. Tsunade is probably the other one that maybe will be alive, especially if he doesn't cut off her head or something or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he'll just have to deal with Tsunade, and then she'll get taken out. Like regardless, all he has to do is rip her fucking head off or her body apart. It's like she's not invincible. So
Even
I
if
will
they-
admit though, like in character, he won't use a Rasen Shuriken off rip,
No,
but eventually,
He
if he
would
needs
fill him
to, he's going to. But
Yeah.
simple,
he'll fill him out, shadow
yeah.
clones, and then Orochimaru. I don't want to hear anything with him. He actually has limits to where he says with Four Tails alone, Four Tails Naruto, that if he gets hit with chakra density, he can be killed. So if you have KCM Naruto, you know what I mean, who's definitely more stronger than Four Tails Naruto, right? What's it called? Like if he's getting hit by his chakra shit or anything, even from his body, probably you'd just be fucked,
Yeah, there's just way more empirically. It's not even close or debatable, to be quite honest. But what's going on, Momo? What's going on, Random? Hey, Jay, honored to have my question in the title. Yeah, you asked a pretty good question about moral realism. It's very interesting.
Hey.
As well. Kimimaro versus
I am
Part
curious.
1 Neji. Kimimaro.
Ooh,
Kimimaro, yeah, absolutely.
Part 1
That's
Neji barely survived an individual that Kimimaro said that he could kill at any time. So yeah, and Kitamaro. So yeah.
At the end of the day, like Kimimaro, he's just built different.
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry. Him
blatantly-
and Gara were like on a whole
Exactly.
other playing field.
Yeah,
Like,
Kimimaro is
Brazilian.
blatantly over the Sound 4, even conjunctively.
Yeah.
If he's saying things like, I could kill all of you right now. Even when he was sick, he was saying that. So
Yeah, he
he's
was saying
clearly
when he was sick
superior.
too.
In Part 1, Neji was struggling with Kidomaru and nearly died to his hand. So it's pretty obvious that Kimimaro scales above him very safely.
Not only that, he could use range attacks. Like even let's say we even grant like a close combat's a no-go. He could literally spam range attacks, and that's literally Neji's weakness.
Yeah.
He can't do it.
There's an argument
He'll
that
just outlast him and fuck him up dead.
There's an argument that Kimimaru's taijutsu alone is good enough to compete with Neji's. That's how successful he was against Drunk Lee. So, yeah.
Plus his
Another
durability,
way of
man.
looking at it
Plus his durability.
is
Yeah.
Neji struggles with QB Naruto tuning exams, and Kimimaro fighting 2,000 plus QB Narutos with a chakra cloak on top of it.
Yeah.
So
There's that. There's just too
Also,
much.
Neji struggled to Third Gate Lee, who struggles to Gara, obviously, in which Kimimaro fought later. So
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
shit, that not even like it's just even worse because that Gar was stated to be far stronger than the Gar.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
being
That
stated
Gar was
Yeah,
certainly
dude.
stronger. Yeah, certainly.
absolutely, bro.
Like Lee just flats out says he's even more stronger when I fought him. Like,
Yeah.
and it's blatantly shown. Like that motherfucker went from tuning to fucking joning.
Yeah.
Okay, in the retrieval, and then basically and then that's not even him using Shikaku.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So this is blatant empirical evidence for Kimimaro. What's up, guys?
Kimimaro has insane durability feats as well, like insane attacks, insane AP. Like that motherfucker was a monster, dude.
Yeah, it's not even close. I finally stayed up long
Not
enough to
even a
watch you
contest.
guys live. To watch you guys live. It's 2:30 a.m. Shout out to you, Salazar. Thanks
Damn.
for tuning in. Shout out to you.
Yeah,
guys.
much love, man.
Next
And
question
I always
here.
try to be. Oh yeah, no, go
Yeah,
ahead.
while you guys continue to ask questions, feel free to keep asking. We'll keep answering these while you guys do that. The next one is Hashirama and Tobirama versus Minato and Hiruzen. So the conclusion to this matchup certainly depends on which Hiruzen we were discussing, obviously. I would say if we are factoring pre-retcon Hiruzen, where he's stated blatantly to be the strongest Hokage ever, then it's pretty obvious to conclude that Minato and Hiruzen would more than likely be victorious if he's even above Hashirama.
Yeah.
However, if we are referring to post-retcon Hiruzen, then Hashirama's power would overwhelm them both. As Tobirama is inferior to both Minato and Hiruzen, that's empirically proven with databooks statements. Unfortunately for Tobirama fans, he is not that powerful.
Like, I'm gonna be backpacking hard, bro.
Hiruzen is stated to have surpassed his predecessor, who is blatantly Tobirama, and Minato is blatantly referred to as a superior in speed by Tobirama himself. It's blatant. Doesn't get any more blatant than that. Hashirama in Sage
Like
mode,
sure,
though,
flying Raijin,
certainly.
like that's greater, but it's not like the problem is when they're using flying Raijin, Minato or Tobirama, like that could be what it give them like openings, but then they have their normal body speed and everything,
Yeah.
and that they could easily react to and
Minato
deal
just
with. Like we
yeah.
literally see it with Madara. He reacts to Tobirama's like fucking shit easily and no dips him, you
Yeah,
know.
Minato is
So
just more empirically for Minato, but Hashirama in Sage
yeah,
mode certainly has better feats, such as beating Prime EMS Madara, who's stronger than every iteration of Madara up until he starts to attain Sage mode from Hashirama, etc.
yeah,
And he was soloing the entire alliance, so that should show you how powerful Hashirama was in his prime. So that indicates a higher caliber of combatant, allowing us to deduce Hashirama safely scales over Minato and Hiruzen collectively. You can even argue
yeah,
Hashirama's faster than Minato as well, if you question the semantical interpretation of Madara's statement where he says Tobirama was once heralded as the fastest shinobi. That's not a blatant, I would say, easy semantical interpretation to conclude. There's certainly contentious interpretations to that. I would argue
yeah.
that the version of Tobirama being stated could be contended with and questioned. The very word herald implies that it seems that he was the fastest. That doesn't necessarily prove he was the fastest. There's many interpretations and variables to that statement.
Not even that, Jay. Like, even if we granted that, and let's say like he was the fastest, that's more than likely due because of flying Raijin,
Yeah,
and that
Yeah.
makes sense because flying Raijin is just fucking broken, and you're transcending space and time itself, whatever. But cool, sure, you could use flying Raijin and move from point A to point B, whatever, sure, like instantaneously compared to Hashirama or whatever, right? But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, if Hashirama can still react and perceive him, it's
yeah.
counterintuitive,
So
you
essentially,
know?
the Flying Raijin ability gives you an ability to instantaneously teleport. However, after the teleportation is executed, you have to be fast enough to
To
execute an
land an
attack.
attack on him, and that's
Yeah,
the
and
problem. If you're
the
not
statement
fast enough
also
to land an attack, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. And the statement also said he once was herald, so indicates a time in the past. It's not a specific time period. So
Yes. It's very
what I'm
vague.
thinking it's referring to is the Warring States period where Tobirama was blatantly over Izuna, who was superior to Madara at that time, kind of like Shisui and Itachi during their like times of adolescence. Similar dynamic, right? So him outspeeding someone like Izuna during that time would, declare him the fastest at that time.
Yeah.
And especially like with Batman saying having the flying rising slice, which is what was the mortal blow in the first place, that just adds to the fact of him being fast, right?
Yeah.
So
If anything,
yeah.
at best, you could say the ability to instantaneously teleport is what makes him the fastest. But then again, that's just the teleportation itself. The attack in question after the teleportation is certainly not instantaneous, and that is where he probably loses against someone like Hashirama or Madara in terms of being able to successfully execute an attack after.
yeah,
Like Tobirama
the
used
teleportation.
flying rising on Madara with when he was like with Hashirama stage mode and still
He
reacted to
failed.
it. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like it just doesn't matter. Like the
yeah.
flying Raijin is the only form of scaling that is able to like give Madara or Hashirama a run for their money, but it's only for one moment, and since it can't attack them, right, it can't do anything to where it just doesn't matter because their scaling has to be
Yeah.
competent enough to execute an attack right
And
after they come out.
yeah, and the reason why Minato has a better case for being faster is if you analyze and monitor his performance against the fourth Raikage, not only did obviously he utilize Flying Raijin, he was able to successfully react to the fourth Raikage's greatest speed, which canonically is stated to be at least relativistic to the speed of light. And that's not dependent upon the Flying Raijin. That is solely dependent upon his own ability to react. His ability to react is relative to the speed of light. Then he used the Flying Raijin, which is instantaneous. That's why he has a better case that he's the fastest of all time. Until we get to obviously, like Casey and
Minato.
and things like
And,
that.
and not only that,
Oh,
like
yeah.
just another example, so you guys are understanding what we're saying. Like for instance, like when Minato does Flying Raijin in Sage mode, like it makes like Madara get like the question mark and estimate, like where he was like very impressed by the speed of Flying Raijin, but the moment he reappears and he tries to land a Rising on him, Madara just immediately speed diffs and no
Exactly.
diffs him,
Yeah.
right? So it clearly shows that whenever Tobirama or Minato are using Flying Raijin, for that one moment, they're fine, right? Or whatever, it's broken. But when they reappear and they have to land an attack, okay, they have to be able to scale to their opponent either equally or be above to land that attack, right?
Yeah.
And if that's not the case, then they're fucked. And that's how it is for Tobirama to Hashirama, or Minato to Madara, things like that, et cetera. Meaning, therefore, it's counterintuitive. That's why Minato was able to land a hit on Obito because he basically scaled to Obito. You know what I mean? And he could in his blind spot and now guaranteeing a hit. While with Madara, because he scales so much over Tobirama, even while Tobirama was in his blind spot as well, he could still no diff him.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, the overall premise to battle is a multivariable equation. It's not simply just A or B. There's many factors that people maybe that are more naive tend to overlook. It's not simply just oh, you have flying Raijin, so you could solo and blitz somebody. That's not necessarily that simple.
GG's.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that simple. It's being able to successfully execute and activate the flying Raijin, one, and then being quick enough to react after the teleportation has executed to successfully hit somebody, which we saw, a successful occurrence and a non-successful occurrence. Minato being able to do what he did against the fourth Hokage was successful. Tobirama failing to blitz Madara was unsuccessful. His reaction time is clearly not instantaneous. Not even close.
Nope.
So
and the only time Tobirama actually had a W was on an off-guard Uchiha that had no idea what even flying Raijin was, period. Izuna, and landed on Izuna. That's it. The only time, an off-guard moment. You know what I mean?
So there's just more for Minato being faster. And on top of that, obviously, Tobirama admits inferiority in terms of speed as well. Which just further reinforces that premise, but
Jay, that's to flying Raijin, so that doesn't.
Basically, Prime Hiruzen and Minato scale over Tobirama. Hashirama skill is even above KCM2 Naruto, is above KCM2 Minato even.
Yep.
But Shinobi, Tobirama plays seals on Jubito.
Oh my god. Jubito is their best case.
He scales to 6 paths.
They just want to disregard
I guess that's facts, dog.
They just want to disregard that he's fluctuating in power the whole time. Are we talking about
hilarious.
the same Neji that almost died while taking out Kitamura? Yeah, same one.
That Neji, Like, I'm sorry, he can't.
Yeah, that's not even debatable. Yeah,
not even close.
I'm 100% sure they were talking about flying Raijin, flying Thunder God, because you can just that's what we're also assuming. Yeah.
Batman, literally. Yeah.
Batman, did you see the video of all the anime YouTubers slamming that clown Gios? Well, they're asking you a question.
Wait, what?
Says, did you see the video of all the anime YouTubers slamming down Gios?
No, I have not. You gotta send the link. Send it to me on Discord or somewhere on my YouTube or in this chat or something.
But yeah, folks, feel free to keep asking questions. We shall continue with these questions while you guys ask. It could be anything, not even anime. We'll answer, obviously. So the next question...
But it doesn't surprise me. Gios' ass.
Yeah. The next question is actually quite interesting. It's a good question. Someone asked, could you discuss the strength of each tailed beast and who would they compare and how would they compare to someone the likes of Rasa? And I'm assuming they said 1T. I'm assuming that means the one tail. So my answer to this would be, this is actually a particularly challenging question to answer because the difference in power between each tailed beast is ambiguous and consequently arbitrary. What we can extrapolate, though, from the canonical literature is that the Nine Tails and Eight Tails are the strongest of the tailed beast, as one, Naruto and Killer Bee, being the two Jinchurikis of these two-tailed beasts, respectively, held their own pretty well against 6 Do-Jutsu Amp Jinchurikis simultaneously, indicating their superiority. And two, the 8 and 9-tailed Jinchurikis were able to offset the combined Bijou Bomb of the 6 Do-Jutsu Amp Jinchurikis, which further reinforces my premise that they are superior. So what we can safely conclude and indicate is that the 8 and 9 tails are the strongest. It's pretty blatantly shown.
The more tails you have, the more stronger you're going to be. It's because you have way more chakra. So
but however, aside from that empirical piece of evidence and rationalization, it's hard to analyze any further the difference between the others individually. It's quite hard. Using less valid forms of logical strategies, you could suggest that the particular Akatsuki duo that took down any particular Jinchuriki in question could possibly indicate the caliber of Jinchuriki. However, that proposition certainly doesn't prove your premise, because you could just argue there's many reasons why a particular Akatsuki duo went after a particular Jinchuriki. It's not necessarily because they're stronger than another Jinchuriki, right? So that's not the best logical strategy to conclude. But what seems to be the case rationally is that it goes up the further you go up in tails. 1, 2, 3. It
Yeah.
seems like that's the case with Naruto clearly being by far the strongest tailed beast, and it being also I implied at the very best that the Nine Tails has the most chakra. It seems that it goes in some sort of linear or exponential.
It's just stated over and over
Yeah.
the Nine Tails is the most powerful.
Yeah,
Everybody just always says
it's,
it.
it's certainly implied, yeah, that the further you go in tails, the more likely that you're a stronger tailed beast or a stronger Jinchuriki as a result. So,
And also Naruto is he's like the only one that gets like a cloak when he goes like full like V2, if you
Yeah.
will. So it
Mhm.
kind of like indicates he's getting like some kind of like almost 6 pass level of transformation, or he's on that borderline, you
Yeah.
know, like almost there, but not
only
quite. But
counter
yeah.
only counter I would use to myself is the argument that I just brought up, which you can counter to be fair, but you could say something like, "Oh, why did Kisame go after the three tail? Oh, what was it, the three tail? The lava release Jinchuriki?"
4, yeah, Goku,
Then you
yeah.
can counter me and say, "Well, that doesn't prove that. It's because he's stronger than the other Jinchuriki. That's just maybe that just happened to be the case."
Yeah, and not only that, it's actually stated and explained why they weren't going after the Nine Tails.
Yeah.
Itachi, for one, he's a spy, so he's making every fucking excuse in the book to not do it. Two, what's called Kasame even says why it's not smart to do it, and that they actually have to collect them all in order for the ghetto statue. And then Kasama even brings up, well, why don't we just at least kidnap Naruto and have him hostage, right?
Yeah.
And then Itachi was like, well, that doesn't matter because then basically everyone would get upset. Konoha, they'll start forming alliances. It'll just create a big uproar, blah, blah. Obito says that too. Zetsu emphasizes on that. Then even Kasame elaborates even further on the notion that Itachi was saying, and basically saying that it's just, overall, it's just not smart and to be patient and hunt that as last.
Yeah. So essentially, it does seem to be the case that the higher you go up in tail, the number of tails, the more likely you're the more powerful one. Jinchurikis are stronger than their tailed beasts, respectively, by themselves, and that just seems to be the most rational conclusion, which I agree with as well. It just seems to be the case, but
like the feats are just blatantly there. Like Naruto just like literally goes into his Biju form and just slams them all. What's it called?
Literally, dude.
Fucking he did like they do all their tail beast bombs, do a fusion fucking tail beast bomb, but make it as big as possible. Launch it at Naruto. Naruto does his tail beast bomb, makes it literally the same fucking size, but shoots it at a trajectory where he can launch it up and just like beats them all with that too. Killer Bee and the Nine Tails as well did like a Nine Tails beast bomb and beat them all. Like so overall, it's just just shown that they're just way over. Like what I will say is they do have a form of relativity in a sense where they do have enough similar scaling to where if they are able to land attacks and things like that, they can hurt them. I will say that at least to B. Not, I won't say that for Nine Tails. That's never shown. But for B, that was the case. So like whenever like that one dude with the horn hit B, he was able to make him bleed, you know, whatnot. So like they do have things like that. But the problem is when it comes like to a full on battle, Killer Beast is going to be more faster, more versatile because of him having more chakra, you name it. And then if it comes to like them doing a tail beast bomb battle, no matter what, Killer Bee will always win because he has the most chakra. So that's the problem. So even if they can hang to some degree in form, they're still over in a sense where they're always going to have the edge and win the fight because they're just more powerful. It's an unfair advantage.
Yeah, what the important part is not necessarily the propositions as far as the exact difference in caliber. That's irrelevant. What is important is that the higher the number of tails you have, the higher likelihood that you're more powerful, or that you are more powerful.
And then the Nine Tails even says that shit savagely. Like he's like, oh, like fucking bro, you have the most tails, whatever. You know, to the 8 tails, like, you know, stop being fucking trash and do your fucking job. And then literally, and then he gets mad and butthurt. He's like, shut up, Nine Tails. I told you that's not whatever, blah, blah. It's not all about, you know, your tails, whatever. Like you're always doing that to one tail, Shikaku, and that's fucked up. But basically, what was happening is Nine Tails like, hey, bro, you're technically the second strongest. Why are you struggling? Like, just handle this shit, bro. You know what I mean? And then, you know, and then the octopus dude is getting mad and butthurt because even though he knows it's the truth, he doesn't really want to admit to that because they're all practically like siblings. They're like family. Basically, in a sense, they're all raised together with the Sage of Six Paths, you name it. And they are all clearly aware of who's over who. But obviously, they're going to try to have like respect for one another and, you know, not, you know, be fucking dicks to each other, right? But the Nine Tails is the only one that is, while all the other ones be, humble and respectful. So, like, there's
I
just
can be.
and feats and you name it to
Yeah,
clearly.
so the tailed beast scaling in general is pretty interesting though, yeah. Someone said I don't think
Yeah.
the flying thunder god speed is
They're
different.
I just want to say real quick, like
yeah.
there's certainly, like, as you guys have indicated, like there's a lot of empirical and narrative analysis that can indicate that they're definitely disproportionate in power levels. They're definitely proportionate in the fact that they are increasingly more stronger with the amount of tails, but it just makes me question, why would Hagoromo split the 10 tails into such disproportionate tailed beasts
Yeah,
to
that's a good
create
question.
equality in the first place?
That definitely doesn't nearly guarantee equality or equal
Like,
standing.
Kurama is obviously over Shikaku. Like, it's not even funny.
It's
so,
not even blatant. It's very blatant that Kurama the strongest tailed beast, and it's honestly not even close. So I don't even think the Flying Thunder God speed is different because Flying Thunder God is instantaneous. Yeah, the ability itself is instantaneous. It's the activation time that matters. So yeah, that's true. Minato and Tobirama's Flying Thunder God are equal in speed, but their reaction times before and after are different. So
certainly, yeah.
someone asked Yujiro from Baki versus my guy, Taijutsu only. Well, I haven't seen Baki.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ichiro can literally, like, tank nukes, bro. Like, with the punch, bro. Like, he's literally, like, nuclear level plus. Like,
Yeah. And
they are superhuman plus, bro. Like, if they were in Naruto, they'd be fucking busted, bro. Like,
yeah. And
so
Baki in
saying
general
that,
is very martial arts based. So I would assume someone from Baki would beat someone from Naruto, as far as Taijutsu only.
even Eighth Gates, man, I doubt it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, but these sorts of verses that prioritize technique, typically those individuals within those verses are better in combat as a result because it's so prioritized. So this is more empirically. I haven't seen Baki, but I'm assuming so.
I mean, dude, if he can tank a nuke with his punch, he can certainly tank a Hirodora or even a Sekizo barrage.
But
So
that's all the pre-anime questions, folks. If you have any more, of course, feel free to keep asking. We'll start to answer these miscellaneous ones, some good ones actually. So the first one, as you can tell, the title was about morality. The specific question is, can you discuss moral realism versus moral anti-realism and moral skepticism in general? So let's first off start by defining moral realism. I think a lot of people that are not in the actual entity of philosophical discipline probably don't know what that is. Moral realism essentially is an ontological theory or thesis, if you will, that prescribes the idea that moral judgments can be considered factual, implying that not only is a moral judgment an objectively correct premise, but that moral judgment proscribes what ought or ought not to be the case for an individual's behavior in general. So if someone, for example, states that behavior is immoral, then a moral realist would say that is a fact, and not only should that individual in question immoral, but any individual that sort of reiterates or copies this behavior is also immoral. It's quite hard to grasp, but continuing on. Notice how I said can, because moral realists only agree to the premise that moral facts can exist. They don't necessarily exact on the specific moral facts themselves. So that actually differs. All they agree on is the very proposition that moral facts can exist. They don't specify what moral judgments are to be considered moral facts, which also indicates that there can be moral judgments that are not moral facts. The only premise that really matters to them is, okay, moral facts can exist, which most people that specifically that are not in this philosophical field would probably never subscribe to, because morality seems so volatile. But continuing on, someone might ask, what makes these moral assertions facts to a moral realist? Essentially, what does this are quote-unquote suitable agents and actions, which can certainly vary from what is considered suitable from individual to individual, meaning this can be arbitrary and dependent upon an individual's discretion, which to me personally makes me question moral realism and the idea of a moral fact if the suitable agents and moral relations can vary from person to person. How can we establish something as fact if the sort of structure that allows it to be considered fact can differ from person to person? That's just kind of questionable to me personally. However, to be quite honest, in the philosophical field, from what I've read from peer-reviewed articles, this ontological thesis is hard to characterize, meaning depending on the moral realist you are speaking with, the parameters I just established could change, and the premises, obviously, for these moral facts being moral facts can change, as I just explained. So moral realism is just a very peculiar, I would say, subfield of philosophical discipline. And now to get to the anti-realists, the anti-moral realists, they can come in many forms, as moral realism can come in many forms. There are non-cognitives, that's what they're called. I believe another type of anti-moral realist is called a non-relativist. And I could go on and on about defining them, but I'll just go ahead and give the most common rebuttals to moral realism. One of them was from a very revered philosopher in the 70s called John Mackey. He asserts that if moral factual values existed, they would be particularly bizarre and difficult to grasp, and here's why. He goes on to explain that propositions in general with a truly objective truth value have the natural property of being found and inevitable. For example, 1 + 1 = 2. And if you were to put two things together, you would get the sum of two, right? So there is this inevitable outcome of finding this objective reality. But when it comes to moral values, you can't really do that, right? Which is the point he's trying to make. And he also goes on to say, to further reinforce his antithetical stance, that moral realism can be negated by ethical relativism, which is a phenomenon that from culture to culture, morality could widely vary. Which is unexplainable, which I agree with him on, to be quite honest. So that naturally contradicts the fundamental premise of moral realism and the idea that, that moral facts can't exist. So hence moral facts cannot truly exist, according to Mackey. To continue on, a much more simple challenge that I'll explain, because I know some of this stuff can go over your head if you're not a philosopher, is that emotions, attitudes, and interests can vary, and that moral disagreements simply reflect the fact that the moral claims people embrace are dependent upon your emotion, your subjectivity, etc. So simply put, moral realism to me, in general, is questionable. I think that morality has been volatile in a fluctuating sort of realm of intellectual endeavor since the beginning of time. Morality
So much
could widely
grayer.
vary.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. It could widely vary from culture to culture, in different points in human history, and even in simultaneous points in human history, they can vary. You can go to the Middle East, you can go to sub-Saharan Africa, and the cultures and their moral compass will certainly differ. Their traditions will certainly differ. So to try and claim that there's such thing as a moral fact just doesn't seem very valid to me. I can tend to see the appeal to the ideology. You want to establish moral truth and keep it at that. If anything, I think that the premise behind moral realism is to establish morality as an absolute thing. But I just don't think morality falls in the realm of objectivity, to be quite honest.
Like, morality is just not simple. It's a very contentious value, and the environment and context obviously can make things become more, complicated. Like obviously, like if we have a moment where like if someone just goes and kills a person for no fucking reason at all, just right, just kills the guy, right? Obviously, like that's not like it's fucked. But like let's say like there's actually a morality lesson introduced in Naruto, for an example with Danza with Itachi, where Danza basically asks Itachi, if you're on a boat and there's one dude that's sick, what do you do? Do you kill the guy and toss him off the boat, or do you try to help him or do the whatever and be a normal person or something, right? And Itachi just simply says, I'll kill the dude and throw him off the boat so I save everybody else. So like when it comes to more realism or whatever, blah blah, like sometimes that's just blatantly not always going to be the case, and there's just certain situations where either there really isn't really a right or wrong, or no matter what, something could be right, but then if something changes in a way, then it could be wrong. It just it's not simple.
Like
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
yeah, a good quote that I think Mackey gave about to try to refute moral realism is when he was refuting the claim, when you hurt someone, it is cruel. He says, "What on earth allows you to objectively substantiate that it's cruel. How can you truly objectively prove cruelty? What is it? What tangible sort of entity reinforces that premise? What allows us to consider the truth value of that proposition to be true? There's nothing to lead to. It's the idea of cruelty is not an objective sort of metric, and that certainly can vary from culture to culture. And Mackie made a good point when trying to combat moral realism. Realism tends to catapult on semantics. They try to argue, well, propositions, that have inherent truth values that are to be true are within these moral judgments. Hence, these moral judgments are facts. I think that the whole fundamental premise of moral realism is flawed, and that's why it hasn't been adopted by Western civilization.
Why do you think we have court systems and everything?
Yeah, exactly.
It just clearly goes to show the flaw in moral realism.
A court serves as a moral compass, and it serves
pretty much.
And it represents
unbiased.
the idea. Yeah, exactly. And it represents the idea that morality is arbitrary and ambiguous.
Yeah.
Right? And these judges are individuals that have to determine from their own arbitrary moral compass what is the right punishment for any such a crime.
Or if there shouldn't be a punishment at all.
Or if
it was just misconstrued and it was just blatant.
And the jury, it helps, to kind of give a fair shake to the defendant. So I just think that morality is certainly volatile. It's malleable. It's a fluctuating.
Absolutely.
Entity, so
it seems to me that like the moral realism is trying to get down to what is objectively morally positive, right?
Yeah.
And there's very few things that we can deem as such. Like Batman said earlier, killing someone is obviously at its fundamental core a negative act of conduct to enact, essentially. But when it gets to different cultures, like Jay said, you have factors like demographics or culture. In terms of like religion, and you have politics as well, influencing what is morally righteous or not. Like you take like eating pork, for example, is something that is not morally accepted, but for us it's no big deal, right? And that is just a stem of their traditionalism that has been uprooted from their beginning, essentially. So ambiguity is part of human nature, and because of that, morality is a huge end result as well. So there are very few things that we can deem morally realistic because our world is full of different people with a huge spectrum of rationalities and ideologies and things of that nature. So there's very few things that are realistically morally cruel or the opposite of that. So
and even to say there's something such as a moral axiomatic claim, I think that is incorrect, truly, because what might be axiomatic to us, like, oh, don't kill people or etc., can change from culture to culture. That sounds absurd to us because in the Western world, there are these universal sort of laws that we all follow. Don't kill, don't steal, don't cheat. The 10 Commandments, if you will, of most religious scriptures. But if you go back 1,000 years, 2,000 years, death was common. And death was revered by certain cultures. It is what it is.
It's the main thing of a reaction, actually. Like, death was the solution.
Yeah.
No matter how small something was.
Especially in religious cultures and religious tribes, death was a symbolic thing. But what I will say, for me personally, as far as philosophical ideologies that I tend to correspond to, I think Kantianism is a good one. There's some objective metrics in it, like what is the net good and net bad of things. I think it's a good way to try to measure something. Again, what is good and bad can vary from person to person, of course, but
exactly.
I would say
that's another thing too.
Very subjective.
Yeah.
Here's another example. Like would you nuke a city? Would you nuke a city like to stop a disease from spreading around the whole planet? You know what I mean? And be willing to kill so many innocent people? Like how do you gauge the morality in that? Do you deem that wrong, or
if that's the only choice?
Yeah.
If that's the only choice, it is the right thing to do, man. But it's a hard call for sure.
Yeah, I tend to look at Kantianism as one of the best ideologies to try to correspond to.
Not
because
bad.
You look at a situation such as passing legislation and how much people will affect versus how much people the antithesis of that will affect, and I think that trying to calculate arbitrarily, of course, the net good and net bad is a good way to go about things. I just think that trying to consider things axiomatic and as far as your moral compass can be a problem. Eventually, you're gonna hit
Hey,
a wall. So
you want to since we're talking about this, this just reminded me of something I thought of a while ago. Here's an interesting question. Because there was a show I was watching, and it kind of brought this up, and I was like, this is interesting. And then I thought of something. I'm like, so the question is, if a person committed horrible crimes or killed like 100 plus people, but then something happens and they get physical brain, different. They're a good person. They're not trying to, be a danger to anyone, whatever. Do they deserve to be punished? And it's like it's an interesting, extremely tricky morality situation, even in court of law. Like there's actually been plenty of examples, like for serial killers and stuff like that too. To where it's like, it just kind of goes to show how interesting our brains are, and there's legitimately real cases that go on like this too, with proof in science, you name it, and to where it's like where do you even justify that line of reasoning? You know what I mean? Because like it's just crazy. Because normally, if you had a serial killer and he did all this crazy shit, whatever, they go to court, whatever, blah blah, and it goes from there, right? And they're always guilty, moves forward. But let's say you have a situation where like it's a brand new person, whatever, doesn't have no memory, no nothing, not a danger anymore, whatever. That makes shit go fucking crazy, because now like it basically puts the person in a situation where they can be defended for and advocated for, to where what is that actually fair? Like, should you punish literally me traveling to someone's body, even though I didn't do nothing? You know what I mean? And like, but yet they have a past in history, and here's this. Like, what
Well,
do you
you're
think
saying
of
you had
that?
amnesia or something after
Yeah,
the fact? Okay, got you.
like either
Well,
amnesia or fucking, or like to the point where if you hit a certain part of your brain, I forgot where it is, to
mhm.
where you actually like just change completely as a person. You have no recollection of anything you did. You're just literally a brand new fucking person. Like if you were reborn, like it's weird as fuck. And so it just kind of comes to the point where it's like, is it still fair to punish that person due to their past acts or whatever, even though they're no longer technically that
The
person?
same
It's an
person
interesting
anymore.
concept,
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Well, let's say that the individual in question did commit a homicide.
yeah,
That's not only taking away someone's life and potential for future growth and transcending generations, but you're also taking away from peers and family. So that kind of stuff and that grave of a situation, I think, demands it demands some level of
accountability.
incarceration or something of that sort. But and if you have tangible evidence that can prove that individual in question did these acts in the first place, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, man. I mean, I think it's morally correct to punish them for their deeds,
yeah,
But the court system is always evolving, man.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't even that long ago where like people could use spectral analysis, like during the Salem witch trials, right? Where like, oh, I had this in my dream, so she's a witch. Bam, that's good to go. Or you could use a lie detector test, and that was good enough to punish people. So
yeah,
the court system is always evolving. Same with humanity and its legislations. So,
yeah,
but in that circumstance, I think it's morally correct to punish them. I don't know what you guys think though,
yeah.
but yeah.
Like I agree. I do still think it's morally correct to punish them. Like at the end of the day, there needs to be some form of accountability or justice, right? At the end of the day, the acts are still done and whatever, blah blah, this and that. But it is very intriguing, and it is very interesting, because when I was seeing an example on a show, and then even looking further into it and seeing real life cases, there was literally people that were literally like not hold guilty, or as a for defense, they were held to a point where it was basically being claimed as immoral to even have a
Huh.
form of punishment, or to where even the jury were just like completely conflicted, where now it's like going all around and they don't even know what to really do.
Hmm.
So it's just really interesting, and it kind of further tags the whole notion that morality is a very strange thing,
yeah. Morality,
because
yeah,
yeah,
morality is constantly evolving, and moral realism, honestly, I think, is proven wrong by nature itself. I think from our own legislation, from our own justice system, moral realism is constantly being debunked. I think that moral realism is just a sort of idealistic ideology to try and answer the question of morality. And even moral
yeah,
realism itself doesn't establish moral fact itself, which is very, very ironic, I think.
yeah.
Certainly.
It varies from moral realist to moral realist. How can an ideology be considered one that corresponds to facts if the ideology itself isn't concrete and easy to understand? That's very, very
Yeah.
ironic.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just really interesting. So I thought that was interesting in a way because the way I thought of it is like, what if I was some crazy psychopath, right? And then something happened, and then now I'm a whole other brand new person. I don't know what the fuck anyone's talking about. I'm literally good. I'm not a danger to anyone anymore. Whatever. And then it's like, what do you do in that situation? Because like, and then at the end of the day, like the way I picture myself in that issue, like if everyone's telling me that I did all this fucked up shit and this and whatever. I actually would want myself to be punished. Like, I'm sorry. I would dead ass be on the stand and be like, yeah, I should be punished no matter what. You know,
Yeah,
I
in
don't
that
know,
case,
whatever.
yeah,
But
in the real world, it would come down to probably a psychological study, psychological evaluation to establish
yeah,
credibility to that. And if
exactly.
there's a way to
Like,
prove that it truly was somebody else and not yourself, I guess theoretically the
oh, for
judge and the
sure.
jury would say, okay, you're free to go. But that would be very hard to prove, neurologically, psychologically. Be very difficult to
Hmm.
prove that it wasn't you. But
Valid point, man. Yeah, absolutely.
in the
With
real
our
world, at
levels
least,
of like consciousness, understanding, that would be hard thing to
very,
actually
That's the
yeah, yeah.
problem. That's a hard,
provide
yeah, because
validity
we don't even
towards.
understand our fucking brains. You know
No,
what I
not
mean?
at
No,
all.
Like,
not at
Yeah,
all,
not at
bro.
it's
all.
one of the
Not at
most
all. We're not even fucking
confusing
close.
elements in life. It's kind of similar to the ocean. I mean, like,
Yeah.
we don't know a goddamn
Ask
thing or space.
Pretty
You know,
much,
like,
man.
Ask someone like
Yeah,
Sam
or
Harris.
quantum
He'll tell
mechanics.
you we don't know shit yet, and that's one of the
yeah,
greatest minds on
Literally.
earth.
like
So
I forgot the person's name, but there was a dude that was in a similar situation, and to where he wasn't given the verdict of guilty or anything, and he actually like pleaded like for accountability or whatever because he like felt remorse and whatever you name it, but just had no recollection of any of these things that he did, whatever, blah blah, yada yada.
yeah,
And he was let off, and the dude just lived a normal life from that point, and just nothing ever
yeah.
happened. He
If
was a whole
anything,
other fucking person. You
if
know his
anything,
family, no nothing.
yeah, if
You know.
anything, if there was a case that extreme, I would argue for the insane asylum verdict, just to avoid the possibility, whatever it is statistically, of you committing the act again. That's what I would probably
Yeah,
decide.
and that's I'm glad you brought that
Yeah,
up because that's what I also thought of too. That is one of the cons to even if you were to let somebody go because of whatever blah blah, because that actually there was cases of that too where the same situation happened, but since they were let scot free or whatever, or some
Mhm.
half measure of punishment, but not really anything, right? Then next thing you know, they started recollecting their memories and remembering what they did or whatever you name it, and then basically immediately doing the acts again. And
yeah,
now more people are
Yeah.
suffering
yeah.
when if they just locked them up from the get go, it wouldn't have been. That would have just been done
Yeah.
right there.
So yeah, morality in general is an ever evolving. I don't know if I would want to call it a science. It's sort of an entity because science is
It's really not, dude.
yeah,
It's
because science. With the word science, at least for most people, semantically, it represents a word that means and indicates an observable entity that you're learning more and more of. Morality isn't observable. It's
No,
arbitrary.
it's
So
it's a part of our consciousness,
yeah,
dude, and that is
there's a
so
word for
vast
that.
and
I can't
infinite.
remember
like
what it
Mackie
is. Yeah,
said,
there's a word for those type of things.
yeah, like Mackie said, values of morality aren't the same values of science or mathematics. It's not tangible. You can't observe it. You can't lead to a objective conclusion like you can math or science. It's not the same. And that's the problem with moral
Yeah.
realism. But continuing on, error theory is interesting. Yeah, I read some of that. So it's pretty interesting. Next stream, Jay, you and me, Minato versus Kushina. Honestly, it's not really worth debating to me. Um, but yeah,
Again?
yeah, I think that
Kushina go hard, bro.
if I'm debating for Minato, I don't think it matters who I'm debating. That wouldn't be a debate. So, are you still talking about Minato versus Kushina? We were actually talking about morality, but yeah. What's going on, Luis? Thanks for coming in. Philosophy or psychology? As far as what I tend to enjoy more, philosophy probably. Psychology is interesting as well, though. You'd be surprised.
Super fascinating. I'm kind of on the psychology. Like understanding people is like
Very
integral towards
Yeah.
understanding the progression of or potential of humanity in general. Same with like sociology or things of that nature.
Yeah.
But
Philosophy
You're
is
basically
very
playing
other
an
aspects.
impossible chess game with that.
Yeah, philosophy is very, I would say, abstract, while conversely, psychology is a science, much more tangible. It actually parallels and corresponds to biology quite a bit. If you listen to someone like Peterson speak about it, he references biological fact into his psychological theories or thesis, if you will. So, a priori rational principle. Yeah, priori, yeah, there's no evidence of moral realism. There's no evidence of a moral
PTSD
fact.
would be an example of him
Yeah,
bringing something up like that and how someone's brain looks and is and everything. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because eventually, essentially, the biological, I guess, adaptation to trauma is to expect trauma, and that's where PTSD comes from.
Yeah.
If you're in war, getting shot at, stuff like that, even when you're in a more docile environment, your mind is prepared for that. So
Yeah, like you hear a fucking like a slam of something or glass falls on the ground.
exactly,
Next thing you know, you think it's a fucking gunshot or
it's a
something. And you're losing your
biological
mind.
predisposition
Yeah.
to adjust. Unfortunately, it can go the wrong way. You know, you get home invaded or something. It's traumatic. Your mind's prepared for that the next time it happens because that was like a life and death
Yeah.
situation. You know,
Oh, seriously, yeah.
very biological.
And that's
actually.
actually even more fucked because that could actually backfire in a sense. Because then if you have PTSD in a way, or like exactly what you're explaining and everything,
Yeah.
to where someone tries to come in and rob, and then like they realize they fuck with the wrong one, and they try to run away, and their back is turned to you, and you still fucking kill them cold, like
You
you
lose.
actually could be fucked in many states
Yep.
by doing that.
You'll still be held liable.
Yeah.
For that. Do you
So-
like AI network artwork? Excuse me. I've seen some of the work. AI is computer. It's the thing is with computers, there's no creativity. It's the computers in general compared to human beings are more efficient and reliable. So
Yeah.
I'm not that impressed by a computer creating a perfect art piece compared to a human being. But AI is impressive in general. But
Yeah, art is supposed to be like reality viewed through the lens of the creator.
yeah, exactly.
Whereas AI is just an algorithm of different components from different artists that have already been established with their portfolio. So it's
Yeah.
just it lacks individuality for me. I
Exactly.
know it's not unique.
That's a good
So
point. If anything,
that's what ruins it for me.
the term computer artwork is oxymoronic to me because computers can't grasp individuality or creativity. If anything, a better phrase is computer graphics. That's a better phrase to me.
Yeah.
You're simply creating
Absolutely.
graphics. That's it. A guy creates the Mona Lisa. That's art. So continuing on, moral nihilism is the next level of that in a power scaling sense. Moral nihilism is a whole different tangent. Yeah, for sure. Nothing matters, basically. Will you debate Kent Hovid? I'd have to look into that guy more. If he seems worth debating, yeah. Immanuel Kant was a loser. Well, if he is a loser, why does most moral compasses correlate to his theory? I don't think he's that much of a loser.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's like saying Einstein's
Yeah.
a loser.
Yeah, literally, right? Or Isaac Newton.
Yeah. Is suicide selfish? That's a good question. So I can only give it from my subjective lens, as that question is very loaded. I would say it is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I would say it is selfish because almost any individual, unless you're theoretically not important to anyone on the face of the planet, which is very unlikely, is not only killing themselves, but they're vanquishing a relationship between herself or himself and the other individuals that cared about you. Honestly, even if no one cares about you, I think it's still selfish because I think every individual in humanity inherently has some level of potential that they are
man.
that they
Yeah.
should reach. And if anything,
100%.
what Pearson calls it is an ethical crime when you don't reach your potential, and I agree with that term. Is it literally an ethical crime? No, but I think it's a disservice to yourself and to your community to not reach your full potential. And obviously, suicide is the most extreme version to never reach it. So I do think that that is selfish inherently. So experimental psychology is very tangible. Yeah, psychology is more tangible. It's philosophy that's not.
Yeah.
It opens up the gateways towards so much understanding, especially even in yourself. You know what I mean? It could really help a lot with your potential as well. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A quick thing though, out of curiosity for you guys. You know how like in Naruto it's like forbidden to use Edo Tensei, whatnot, blah blah, because like to them it's morally wrong, yada yada yada, whatever, blah blah. So like, basically what I thought of what was interesting. Like, what if like someone sacrificed an alive person to use Edo Tensei that is either about to die, or from an illness or old age, whatever, and as long as the consent was given, would that be okay? It's forbidden to use in Naruto, but imagine if like Naruto or Sasuke wanted to do that to see like their loved ones again for one moment, or to show them to their family, or even Asuma's daughter. Like, what do you think on that overall, or even the Uchiha?
That's a good
In
question.
Naruto, man, I don't think it's fair to play with like otherworldly abilities for an average shinobi. That's supposed to be, at least in like traditional Japanese lore or Shinto mythology, like
Yeah.
that's something that's it's supposed to be a power bestowed upon those that deserve it, essentially.
Yeah, I
Um,
would say morally, that's a very gray area, but I would say,
Right? Interesting, because like when I was thinking of that, I was like, wait a minute, because I'm gonna be honest, like me, I'm more of like like I wouldn't necessarily say I would do it in this situation, but I could see myself being emotional enough to be selfish in a way,
yeah.
where if I
yeah,
had the ability to bring somebody back for just one moment and then let them go, then I might
I,
actually do it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say
But
that the only way in the real world is never
especially if I was
possible.
Sasuke. If I was Sasuke, come on.
The only way I would say this is
Like,
morally righteous is if you have a morally righteous individual that executes
yeah.
the Edo Tensei and he allows the Edo to have his or her own soul. But
existence, yeah.
obviously in the real world
Yeah.
that's unattainable. I
Yeah,
would say
no.
reviving the
Just saying
dead
for
in the real
Naruto.
world in general is probably not morally correct. I think it's
I mean,
disrespectful.
like you're
Yeah.
saying, Batman, they were like signing a waiver essentially, so I'm cool with that. And if
Right?
like the surrounding environment's cool with
Or
it,
better
I'm
yet,
the
like, what if you were
Hokage,
Sasuke? Like, would you do that to see, like, maybe, I don't
Itachi.
know, somebody in your clan or you're like a family member? Like, would you actually do something? Or if you're a Naruto, would you want to see Jiraiya for one moment
Exactly, I
or
was thinking about
something? Or
Jiraiya.
like
Yeah,
Neji, Like, that's all I was just curious. Like, what
Yeah,
would you do,
that's a
Like,
good
or do you
question.
even
Yeah,
think that's remotely acceptable?
yeah. Uh,
So,
Drunk Lee versus Ramen Guy. Yeah, Ramen Guy is omnipotent, so he beats anybody. So, yeah.
yeah, Ramen gotta go hard, bro.
Yeah. By the way, folks, before we continue on, make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, because it's up in the algorithm. Make sure to hit
Survived
that
the
button.
chaotic. Yeah,
Let's see here. What if Vegeta was favorite lyrics from Drake? There's a lot of them. A lot of them. Let's see what I can think of. He had a lot. There's so many. But the one that comes to mind. Maybe I forgot what song it was. It's exactly. I think it was one from his old albums. He talks about idols becoming your rivals. That was a very good line. Very good lyric. He has a lot of good thematic aspects embedded in his music. That's why I like Drake so much, personally. People call him ass and stuff. I think he's actually very articulate, to be honest. What if Vegeta was the main character? If Vegeta was the main character, he would have had to win the battle against Goku. I'm assuming the Saiyan arc. He
and
probably would.
and Frieza.
Frieza, yeah, he probably would have went Super Saiyan. I wouldn't have mind seeing that, to be honest. I would say that essentially the narrative would be quite similar. The only part would differ is the Saiyan arc, obviously. It'd just be Vegeta being the guy now, not Goku, which I wouldn't mind. But then I think in an alternate universe, we would probably want Goku to get his moment. I think the same problem would arise.
It seems that like the whole motif of having like an idealistic protagonist appeals to a lot of people internationally.
Yeah,
And so if I mean I'm all about Vegeta being the protagonist like that. But would it have been as popular and like as attached to people's like memories? I don't know.
yeah,
But
it's
that is
hard to
something to question.
yeah, it's hard to gauge
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I agree with that. It's hard to gauge what
Hmm.
the outcome would be. We just can't know. There's so many factors. I think it'd be a good narrative, but that's arbitrary. What does good mean? How good would it be in comparison to the original? We don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do y'all think college athletes should be paid to play sports they do? Yes. I think
Absolutely.
they're absolutely, executing labor on a daily basis. They have to get up at 5 in the morning. They have to get to practice. They have to practice, and then they have to do their scholar duties. Why wouldn't you pay them for the effort and labor that they put in? Not only that, but the money they generate for these educational institutions. Why wouldn't you pay them?
Unless we're getting like a full ride scholarship, I mean
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of equivalent,
I think it
Like
comes
that.
down to merit, and I would say marketability. If you're Zion Williamson, bringing who knows how many millions of dollars to your educational institution, he absolutely deserves to be compensated. If you're just an average, D3 student going to a D3 school and you get a full ride, I think that's enough. I think it comes down to marketability. It sounds fucked up, but the world's a market, right? So it comes down to marketability. And that's how the real world works, right? When you get to the professional world, the guy that does the better job gets paid more. They get promoted. They get, they're more revered in the market. Why? Because they can produce more. They're more efficient. right? The better salesman gets paid more. Why? Because he makes more
I mean, look how
sales.
many eyes are on Victor Wembanyama right now. You know,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
fresh out of college right now. And
exactly.
dude, I'm betting. Yeah, it's crazy how much attention it brings to a certain organization, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's nothing but beneficiary. So it's definitely contingent upon the player
agreed.
in college he's playing.
Agreed. It
Yeah.
definitely depends. There's many variables. I certainly don't think they should get paid equal rates. It certainly depends. You know, if you're the star player,
Oh yeah.
you get paid more. You know, if you're Vince Young in his prime, Reggie Bush in his prime, you're gonna get paid more than the average guy that goes to, a D3 school. So, I agree with that.
Yeah. That's fair.
Have y'all did Seven Gates Guy versus Fourth Ray Kage yet? Seven Gates Guy versus the Fourth Ray Kage. That's a good one. The Seven Gates Guy. So the best feats in the anime, at least, are in the war arc against V2 Jinchurikis. He was certainly struggling. He wasn't stomping them by any means. I think the Fourth Ray Kage might be faster. It's, he's able to compete relatively to Casey-Mon Naruto. Obviously, Casey-Mon Naruto is faster.
Well, in the manga, Six Gate Guy was
in the
defeating
manga,
the
it was
BTs and
six Gate
Jerseys.
Guy. I think
For
you have
sure,
a better case in the manga. Yeah, for sure.
In the manga, he certainly has a better chance.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. I think the difference between them is it's quite difficult to quantify. There's some arbitrary difference clearly. I don't think it's that far either. I think they're pretty close in caliber. It's just hard to quantify the difference. I think if you're speaking manga only, there's a better argument for Guy being superior. But
Certainly.
The Fourth Ray Kage is implied to be faster than Killer B, who's the 8-tailed Cherokee. I mean, it's tough to gauge. I would personally lean towards the Ray Kage, at least in speed. On top of that, Seven Gates Guy has an arbitrary time limit, so there's that. Lean towards the fourth with the seventh gate.
It's not no easy battle, But like like the fourth Ray Kage is obviously like comparable to KCM1, and KCM1 like blitz to Same even. He was weathered, of course, but that is something to reveal. But it's just all contingent upon what canonical like source of information we're taking it from, for sure. Like I think in manga, like him like blowing back to Susanoo like he did, and being as strong as he was, I think it may be enough for him to like at least contend with some of that speed. But the Raikage just has like a bijou amount of chakra, and probably would outlast Guy.
Yeah, there's just more empirically for him. The speed feats, the people he is contendable with seems to outweigh Guy. So I would lean towards. It's close though. It's very close, but yeah.
It's safe to pick fourth though.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's safer. He's a safer pick. So great discussion. Your original explanation of the different moral ideologies would make a great short. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to clip that. That was a great discussion.
That's a great question. I asked that too.
That was a great question too, G Finch, and I think moral realism was a great discussion. So that was a great question because of that. Naruto has some fair share of emotional moments and tragic events. Which specific scenes or story arcs left the biggest impact on you emotionally, and why? For me personally, as far as the most emotionally appealing moments, let's see here. I would say, for me personally, honestly, the Sasuke retrieval arc, when I first saw it, obviously we didn't know that they were all going to survive. I was pretty hit emotionally by it. I was a kid when I saw that. The anime specifically. Neji's death, hit hard. Choji's death, what I thought was their death, hit hard. That was a big one. Another one, let's see here. Jiraiya's death, of course, that hit hard as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Itachi's death hit hard as well. Those moments probably hit me the hardest as far as emotionally revealing moments. So
yeah, I'd say early series for me, probably like maybe like middle series, like Kakashi almost dying was pretty crazy. Early series, we can go as far back as like Zabuza and his change of ideologies was pretty dope. And then like Warg, I really loved the whole like Eighth Gate Guy, just like his quotes and like his purpose and like his ideologies. Like that spoke to me a lot as an individual. So yeah.
I don't know, Batman, if you had any, if you're there.
Batman.
Oh, he's probably busy right now. Let's see here. What does Naruto's Will of Fire mean to you, and why? I think the Will of Fire is a phrase to represent the ideology of hard work and consistency. That's what Naruto embodies, specifically Naruto Uzumaki. He embodies the idea of consistency and resolve, right? His resolve is what got him to the top of the shinobi world, which got him the title which he's so, longed for, which is Hokage. His ideology is what pushed him through those long days and nights when he was learning the Rasengan, when all the people were calling him a demon and treating him like shit. Though that ideology is what carried him, and that's what the Will of Fire really represents. He embodies the Will of Fire, and other people would adopt those ideologies later on.
Certainly.
But certainly that's what it represents to me, at least. So
I think the Hokage were great personifications of the Will of Fire. Hiruzen, Minato, Naruto, of course. It's just like the motivation to protect those close to you and bring yourself to a level where you can do that in the first place. That's what it meant to me, at least. It's just like unquivering resolve and your determination to protect, your village and your peers and your family and things of that nature. So
exactly,
yeah,
it's an ideology that is represented by those 3 words. So
those pillars. Yeah.
Essentially pillars. When is the next voice call-in show? Probably in a couple of weeks. We were thinking of doing a Batman server since there's more people and there's a better, statistical probability that we'll encounter some entertainment as well. So we might set that up with Batman and give you guys a show. Maybe guys.
Oh yeah, man.
The server will want to challenge us. So, thoughts on any of the filler nature releases? A lot of that filler was grueling, but I like the idea of Crystal. I like the Crystal release, Dark and Swift.
I love that.
Yeah, the Crystal one was pretty interesting. I didn't really watch too much filler, but the Crystal one I did remember blatantly watching. I enjoyed that release.
Yeah, that's OG Naruto filler.
OG,
yeah,
it was very unique. I guess I liked the character as well. I forgot her name, to be honest, but the Crystal release was all right. They don't compare it to the original canonical releases, but the Crystal one was certainly a good one.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a time?
I don't recall.
What was that?
Yeah, I don't recall Dark and Swift release
I don't
personally.
I probably didn't watch those fillers, to be honest. Can you tell me a time when you faced a moral dilemma or ethical challenge and how you navigated through that? Let's see here. An ethical dilemma. For me personally, one in recent memory at least. Let's see. I think one recently was doing business with somebody, and someone that was more qualified came to me when I already not contractually set up business with the previous person who was not as qualified and not as reputable. Came to me and said, let's do business, and I had to make an ethical decision. Do I want to go with the guy that professional grade, or give the new guy that wants to build his legacy a chance? And I'm going to give the new guy a chance. I ran in my word.
Yeah, man.
And going to give him a shot. So somewhat of an ethical dilemma. So
it's a wise one, a wise decision to make, man. For me, it's kind of like a similar thing. Like, I've just learned in life to just really utilize your energy wisely amongst folks. Life is precious. There's only so much time you have on your hands when you're quite a busy individual and yourself. And so, I've just had to learn, I have to just disassociate sometimes and just focus on what matters. So it's a lesson in itself that takes time, but it's something that needs to be, actually like heard and listened upon.
Yeah. So that ethical dilemmas will always come and go. For the average individual, they're not the most extreme of dilemmas, but you encounter them more often than you think when you sit back and think about it. What are your thoughts on Gohan as a main character? I think that in an alternate world, maybe Toriyama could have written him more, as far as character development. Currently, he wouldn't be the best MC. I just don't think there's enough, in comparison at least, to Goku, to Vegeta. I think that, when Toriyama was thinking about passing the torch during the Cell arc, there was potential to set up Gohan to be that guy, but unfortunately the fandom wasn't happy with that, and Toriyama listened. He said, you know what, maybe Goku should be the guy still. And currently he still is. Him and Vegeta are still those guys. Obviously, Black Frieza and Gohan Beast are big moments, and that could set up something big for Gohan. But
yeah,
I think there was potential at one point, specifically after the Cell arc, for Gohan to be great.
Yeah, dude. There's always like little tad bits of information to like make us think like, yo, this guy can really be something. Like, even as a baby, like going against Raditz. You know what I mean? Like he has always had some huge potential amps, and
Yeah.
so throughout the story we saw that his growth, especially. And so even if he did take the helm as the main character, it wouldn't seem so far fetched to me because of all the development and the plot that Toriyama chose to do. But and even in the Boo arc, even after the Cell arc, of course, he's still like someone to really like revere and just appreciate being so strong with his potential being unlocked from the Supreme Kai. So
Yeah.
even though he wasn't taking the torch, so to speak, he still remained really relevant. And
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
yeah, I don't know. I think how it went was ideal for me personally because who doesn't love Goku, bro, and
Yeah,
Vegeta?
it's hard not to really revere him as a character. I think he's one of the best anime. Period. He's one of the best characters
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
dude.
Easy to appeal to, easy to revere. He just checks off all the boxes: the aesthetics, the ideology.
Ideologies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything. He just
man.
checks off all the boxes, and Toriyama's a genius. So he's done what he's done with the legacy of Dragon Ball in general. So, do you guys think the Will of Fire is brainwashing? No, I think brainwashing carries a negative connotation, and it indicates or implies malicious intent. I think that the Will of Fire is an ideology to be, embedded into someone, especially, a young shinobi. But I don't think it's brainwashing. I think that it's a ideology that can be embedded into someone's mind to set them up for success. I think it's important to choose correct words when trying to explain something, right? Indoctrination implies maybe not malicious intent, but not pure morally righteous intent, right? Like indoctrination at colleges, which is certainly taking place, especially if you're in the more abstract majors like political science. There's certainly indoctrination. There's no doubt about it, which I don't agree with.
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But ideologies that can set you up for success, I would say it's not really brainwashing necessarily. It's a very pragmatic way of doing things. If you work harder and more consistently at something, pragmatically, there's a greater chance of success. It's that simple.
Yeah, you're just gradually and naturally you're just gonna get better over time. And
yeah.
even if you don't like massively or like whatever, there's gonna still be some percentage of like progress or some form of way of you being better than what you were before.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better than nothing.
And
right?
that, in comparison to being in a political science course and having your, professor iterate their disgust for Donald Trump, that's indoctrination. Like, I don't give a shit about what you think about our political leaders. How about you just teach me the history and I move on with my life?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
And I'll take it from there, partner.
Yeah, that to me is indoctrination. I think that's sort of an abuse of your power. And I've experienced that myself. I'm not even a political science major. I just happened to take a few as GEs in my early years.
It's like they're immature about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they know what they're doing.
Like
and they know what
it
should be, not.
At this point, you're a revered educational institution yourself, and you're telling me about your opinion on Joe Biden. Like, I don't give a fuck. I want to learn about politics. That's all. That's all I care about.
Yeah, like you want to learn about the facts and
Yeah.
learn about like the crucial politics that actually
Yeah.
is relevant and important. Just because about Biden
Yeah.
or Trump or this
Exactly.
or that, like
Like,
nobody gives a fuck about the subjective nonsense or
Exactly.
Trump touched the girl's pussy or something or Biden has
Oh,
the
Lord.
worst memory of a fucking 95-year-old.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
cares, you know.
Exactly. It's like, I teach me the legislation they passed. That's all. I don't need to hear your commentary on it. Just tell me what they've done, what legislation did they pass, what laws did they enforce. That's it. That's all you need to teach me. Now
Yeah, they did that with the old presidents. They were
Yeah.
straight to the fucking point
Exactly.
and keeping it up. And George Washington, they didn't sit here talking about why his hair is gray and shit.
Yeah.
Some bullshit. They literally just showed like all his achievements, what he did, why he was this and that, and he was the first president, blah blah, yada yada. Right? That's it.
Oh shit! $2 from Ken Rock. Appreciate that, brother.
Ken Rock with it.
Let's debate Pain versus Itachi. Then I can take Pain. We could
Damn.
discuss that, but
Ken really just wants to debate you.
me and
I guess so,
Shinobi kind of talked about it. I think we're probably gonna debate that.
Yeah, they were gonna do that in advance.
Yeah, we definitely need to go do that soon for sure. It's
but
gonna be a great one.
If you want to debate something,
if anything, Ken, why don't you do Lee versus Sasuke?
Yeah.
I know you love Lee.
We could do something.
Or
though.
some fresh with it. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll think of something. Yeah, we'll think of something for sure. Something that's worth debating. So,
I think like the Will of Fire personifications being the Hokages, they're supposed to be role models, like they're as strong as they are because of their resolve and because of the things they've done in their path of progression. But if you don't want to like rub influence from that, that's on you, bro. But you're not going to be on their tier, so
Exactly.
that's up to you.
Yeah.
It's not brainwashing.
Yeah.
It's just influence.
Yeah, brainwashing. Yeah, that's more of like a negative connotation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to show some appreciation to you guys. Appreciate you, Luis. Thanks for coming in.
Much love, Luis.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
Thoughts on the state of Pokemon anime? Truthfully, I haven't seen that since I was, a little one.
Bro, it's been so long, yeah.
I always thought it was
anime
good.
in years.
Yeah.
But I love the games, bro.
Like, I would dead ass like have to like somehow, some way find a way in the time to just binge through all that shit again. Because there's so many now.
I know there's some weird scaling for Pokemon too. There's like some
I'm pretty
Pokemon.
up to date on Pokemon, man. Like I pretty much know all of them, but that's because of the games and stuff. But in terms of anime, I don't.
Yeah, I know there's some Pokemon that are like universal
Movies
or
or
something.
anime, I'm behind. I'm so behind.
Yeah, me too.
OG movies though were sick, bro.
Oh, I've seen some of them.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, bro,
Especially
and all
like
that shit was dope, bro.
yeah, that movie was goated. Yeah,
I like that's some Studio Ghibli shit, bro. Yeah, that shit was dope, bro.
I remember watching that shit as a teen, bro, and just it was fun.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where was the next one? I lost my. Oh, here it is. Boxing and collegiate wrestling. Well, boxing is more lucrative, certainly. Wrestling, the pinnacle of the sport is the Olympics. Anything after that would be you'd have to go into another sport entirely, like MMA, and start your legacy there. And you'd have to learn boxing anyway, to make money.
Wait, is he asking what's better or like what is he
what's
asking?
better?
I believe so. Yeah.
As far as defending yourself on the streets, I think boxing is the way to go. If you're fast enough, they just won't catch you. And, if you're good enough, you'll knock them out. Even if it's someone bigger.
Sure,
if you're precise, you'll knock them out, even if they're bigger than you. I've seen it many times myself. Wrestling is a good sport too, though. Don't get me wrong. The discipline that comes with it. Not to say boxing doesn't either, but wrestling, it's different. And wrestling, first of all, is more tiring. I've done both for some time. Wrestling is definitely more tiring. When you're in the trenches for 2 to 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're getting held by another grown man trying to contort you to their will. It's fucking tiring, dude. It's really fucking tiring.
Oh, it's exhausting.
You're grinding, dude. You're grinding it out. It's fucking tiring. It's grueling. That's why Khabib, dominated. That's why John Jones dominates. That's why guys in MMA dominate.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because if we're comparing it though, in a sense, like against each other, wrestling would always have the advantage though, because for one, it's something a boxer doesn't even know how to really defend himself at all, so they just get fucked.
I would say,
like if they can land the punch, absolutely, I agree. Yeah. And that's it, done. But I feel like 9 out of 10 times people could always take the punch, and the moment they grab you, you're fucked.
Yeah, the way I would look at it though is against the average Joe, I would say boxing is probably the better way.
Yeah,
but obviously, if you're fighting, what's a really good wrestler? Someone like Daniel Cormier in his prime on the streets, and he grabs you, you're fucked. You're gonna get manhandled.
Yeah,
like Floyd Mayweather against Daniel Cormier, he's getting fucking mauled by him.
Yeah.
More than likely.
I agree with that. Yeah. In that general.
But if you're a guy, right, and you rather know wrestling or boxing against the average guy who's 5'7", 145 pounds in the U.S., boxing is probably the better way to go. That's what I would say. I know a little bit of both, and I would say that in MMA, wrestling's better, though. Let me get that out of the way. Wrestling, you have a better chance of being a champion. Unless you're an outlier like Adesanya, who's so good at striking that no one touches you, wrestling's better. That's all I'll say.
And that's what they're basically saying. Like, if you're just that good with striking, you know what I mean, then it makes grappling redundant.
That's like world class. When you're getting hit, like that's the outlier, like Adesanya or Pereira. When you're that fucking good, it doesn't matter. You're just that good. But that's like a less than 1% of the population. So
yeah, it's not the common normality.
Yeah, like when it comes like the common denominator, like I feel like because I like at least from what I've seen. Personal experience, but then this is still ignorant though, because it's only my personal experience.
Yeah.
It's like fucking like whenever I've seen someone that's like, oh, I can do boxing, whatever, or I box, whatever, blah blah, and they go against someone that knows jiu-jitsu or wrestling, I don't know why, but they always get their ass whooped every fucking time. Yeah. You know what I mean, I don't know, like it's like they go to throw the punch and the guy takes it and then he just starts bullying them on the ground. They don't know what the fuck to do. They're just lost.
Yeah, man. Well, when you lose your center of gravity, I mean, that's kind of much raps for you. At least when you're boxing, you're on your 2 feet, you're planted, you have more wiggle room, essentially. And when you get wrestled to the ground, not only do you lose your equilibrium, but that transitions into jiu-jitsu and then submissions,
You're
and then
done.
you're just fucked,
Yeah,
dude.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a
Like-
lot more that can open up with wrestling for sure. If you just want to win a battle.
That's why,
Yeah.
obviously, overall, if we're talking all fields of discipline. Obviously, if you're an MMA fighter, you have the best odds. You have a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know, but
Exactly.
yeah. Why don't
Yeah.
instruments like drums and trumpets exist in Naruto? I don't know. Maybe Kishimoto didn't really care about that.
Never thought about it, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Could Naruto work
Yeah.
if it was in any genre of anime, school of life, drama, mystery type of anime? As far as genres, I mean, it's pretty combat oriented, but
yeah.
they would have to change up, you know, like the premise of the
Be
aspects
some
of the anime.
Sakura and
Yeah.
Sasuke bullshit again.
But it probably could work theoretically if they were to change it from combat to something else, like a thriller.
Like,
or
the
something.
characters are interesting enough, so yeah, they
Yeah.
could probably
Yeah,
be
for
I
sure.
don't see why not. Like
Yeah.
Kakashi's really interesting, Tachi, Minato, you know, you name it, blah blah. So, like I don't see how, you know,
Yeah.
and I still enjoyed those elements in Naruto because they actually did portray some of that in Naruto, where it's just straight up, just you know, just chill shit. It's not even fighting going on. It's either just funny vibes or
Yeah.
the, you know, whatever.
It's
or
good
their
enough
personality.
narratively. Yeah, I think it would
Yeah.
work. Age-old fandom question. Falconer or Kikuchi score for the Dragon Ball anime? Honestly, it's been so long since I've heard of those guys.
I don't even know who they are, bro.
So long. Yeah.
Me either, bro.
Yeah, I was keeping it trailed.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard of them, but it's been years. I mean, I was like a toddler when I heard about these guys.
You talk about the OG times, man.
Yeah, mix of both. What are y'all looking
OG.
forward to as the summer approaches? Any goals?
Ooh.
Summer goals. Obviously, continue to expand our, you know, our audience as far as business
Yeah.
is concerned. As far as me
Mhm.
personally, obviously improving myself as a, I guess you could say, an individual that tries to inform as well. Physically, always trying to stay fit as well, improve that as well. Just overall improvement, evolution, I'd say is the goal. That's always the goal, regardless of the season. But
Yeah. And for me, it's kind of similar. Fucking overall improvement. You name it. Keep building upon things. What's it called? Maybe come up with some more interesting and fancy ideas when it comes to content creation.
yeah,
To invest a little more into. But other than that, personally wise, you know, that's more of just me continuing to get even more independent and better by day with that type of stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
you know,
Just evolution.
Yeah, and as for me, I'd say get a raise again. Maybe I'm thinking about getting another car. Maybe take a little vacay to Hawaii or something close by. You know,
there you go.
I certainly improve upon my, you know, growth. There's always so much to learn out there in this universe, and it's very humbling. So I'm always trying to absorb as much as possible. Obviously, keep growing with this community. You guys are fucking awesome, and yeah, I like to just be the part of the current, man. That life
Be
takes
the
me on.
debate god, you know,
Yeah.
a debate god. You know?
Yeah, I'll be right back,
Hey,
though,
Jesus.
guys. I'll be right back.
Man.
Just give me 1 second. I'll be
Made 'em
right back.
all. He'll
no
be the
worries,
next.
no worries.
Actually, I can't say that. That's he's Seth the pedo now. What's I was about to say? He'll be the next Seth the programmer or some shit.
That's a
But,
programmer, man.
He's gonna be like the, you know, Shinobi's gonna be basically like the next god debater. You know, he's gonna be built like you know, all kinds of people, bro. You guys don't know. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man, we really out here like that, folks. Honestly, the debates are gonna be fun, man. We gotta definitely get those rolling soon. You know, we just gotta pick a topic, though, dog. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we agree on
we're
so
all planning
much.
to debate each other, like actual debates, like legitimate ones for, you know, your guys' entertainment, to sharpen our own swords. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We're trying to come up with good topics, of course, like not like the random debate streams.
I'll take Mifune against the legendary Sonic. All of them. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like equal to Hanzo, so I mean,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Remember
Yeah.
that shit? He's over here like speed blitzing Hanzo. He's like, I won't let you cast any signs.
Yeah. Hopefully in a
And
couple
Mifune's
weeks.
a light speed attack, bro. That guy's fucking insane, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the next couple weeks we have topics, you know, to set up the actual times and dates of those things. But yeah.
We got one so far. You guys are Pain and Itachi.
Yeah,
That's
me
always
and
gonna be
Shinobi are
good.
probably gonna debate Pain versus Itachi.
Yeah, that sounds
I
fun.
know that
dude.
shit's gonna be lit. I already know that shit's gonna be good. So
That one's contentious too, so it's gonna
it's
be.
so contentious. Yeah.
Very contentious. I love it though.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I really do hope like Kishimoto either does more manga spinoffs or like he actually does like something what Marvel did, like a what if series. This way we could actually get like hypothetical like fights. This way we could just have answers or just more stuff. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or just like a freaking like Shinobi Legends generation kind
Yeah.
of
There's a
series.
lot of things he could do, yeah.
Pretty
How would
fire.
Toriyama write Naruto, and how would Kishimoto write DBZ? They certainly have their own writing styles. Kishimoto seems to revere more so the aesthetic, the aesthetic, the aesthetic aspects, while conversely Kishimoto is more about thematics. Not that they don't care about the others, because they do, but it would more so correspond to what they're currently writing. For instance, Naruto would have more in-depth, transformations.
Story, like Naruto has more story, like more emotional, like investment, and then also like more like controversial morality stuff in it.
Yeah, and
so like
even their thematic aspects differ. Like Toriyama reveres ferocity. He reveres this sort of ideology more so than Kishimoto. Kishimoto is more about consistency, moral righteousness.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a little different. Their tastes are different. They're both genius in their own way, but they're certainly different.
Like they have similarity, but it's completely distinct in different ways. Yeah,
definitely. Even my dad.
Yeah, one trains and has potential unlocks. The other one gets like hacks abilities to like further their abilities. Yeah.
And in like a general nutshell, like I think what happened if Kishimoto was doing like Dragon Ball, it'd basically be like what you got with Naruto, where it has all like that, storytelling and like morality stuff and whatnot, the whole nine. But the only difference is they would still have Super Saiyan probably, all that crap, whatever, blah blah. It'd just be more of that spectrum of writing, and then vice versa. He would do it with Naruto, and then basically, but like it wouldn't be the same like writing we have or whatever shit. He'd probably just make it more like straightforward and more with like the diversity that he has that Jay was basically explaining, and just kind of go from that route.
They definitely have their own tastes. One more so
it would be different. It would be different. The shows would be different
for sure.
I do think that. Yeah.
Even my dad loves Goku. Yeah, Goku's goated, man. Throughout the globally.
Can't you, bro?
Yeah. Globally, he's a phenom, like a phenomenon. So, more of a serious question, but what's your opinions on abortions? Asked because one of my ex-girlfriends had one even without telling me. Damn, that's fucked up, man. I didn't even know she was pregnant until she told me. Yeah, that's definitely a morally unrighteous choice to make, personally.
It's like at least say something. You know what I mean? At least communicate and have some form of fucking transparency. Like,
dude.
That's fucked.
I would say, as far as abortion, obviously this is one of the most morally gray areas in the Western world. But as far as abortion, I personally tend to be pro-life. I think that life, even if there's a chance of it, should have the right to live its life, even if it's one cell, one molecule. I think even whatever entity you're removing from a female's anatomy, you're removing the choice to live their life out, regardless whether it's 9 months or 9 weeks or 9 days, 9 minutes. I think that it's morally unrighteous. And I think the whole argument, my body, my choice, is fallacious because it's not your body. You're destroying another body. It's not your body. That's a fallacious.
Yeah, you also had the choice to procreate in the first place, and despite however enticing it may be, I mean, y'all did take the leap of faith in doing what you did to have this be a dilemma in the first place. So there is that ordeal. It certainly is, if like it's like a sexual assault situation, something like that, that's completely different. Or if it's life threatening. Yeah. Certainly that's morally understandable.
The extreme cases, it's understandable for sure. Yeah. I agree that they probably should, especially if it's their health or something.
Just being honest, guys. Like every action has its consequences, and we have to come in prepared for that sometimes. So it's just a very morally gray area to even question. Yeah, it's a tough one, man.
Definitely,
certainly,
really, really tough. Let's see here, tuning exams. Yeah, we could talk about something, Ken, about tuning exams to debate for sure. Yeah, I wanted to ask this question of the previous four Hokages. Which is the most talented of them all? Is it Hashirama, Toriyama? Honestly, I think it's Hiruzen. It's not even close. The guy mastered all five chakra natures. The guy had the most knowledge out of all four. I would say it's Hiruzen, man, honestly. As far as talent,
he's
not more powerful. But talent. Yeah, I think he's the most talented.
I mean, he's literally stated to be more talented than Tobirama, so that takes out of the question.
And that guy's
the fact that he was a professor.
Yeah, he founded Jutsu, and this guy is stated to be more talented than that. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, Hashirama was certainly just extremely powerful, but
yeah,
like
yeah,
he wasn't like and he wasn't so intellectual as like someone like Minato or Hiruzen
agreed.
even.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
just like naturally gifted with Asura's chakra and just extreme amounts of power. But Minato, if he lived longer, I mean, there could be a case for him, but he just didn't have the longevity and lifespan of Hiruzen to really develop his talents in full spectrum. So
yeah.
yeah.
By the way, folks, sorry for not getting to the chat. We got some tangents, but we'll try to get through them here. Databook says Hiruzen. Yeah, Hiruzen's the most talented. Uh, if so, it will be Jay, Sasuke, and Ken is Lee. Hey, man, I got a pretty good stance on Sasuke, so that'd be a
Yeah, I
tough
think
debate.
yeah, for sure he does. Yeah,
And
that'd be
including
video, by the
like
way.
actual tangible arguments, not just rational arguments. So you'd probably have to prepare pretty good for that. Logic
It's a
says
classic
Hashirama.
debate, though.
Yeah, it's a good debate regardless though. If it's not too embarrassing, how about I have a debater with you when you first started? As far as let's see, how bad was I? Truth be told, my adaptation was very bad. When I first started debating, if I wasn't thoroughly prepared, my adaptation mid debate wasn't very good at all. I would get stuck a lot when I first started. Um, my logic has always kind of been there. To not even trying to brag, but it has always kind of been there. But my rhetoric wasn't really there yet. It took me quite some debates to develop a at least decent rhetoric. My adaptation was lacking. My ability to create sort of premises based off more nuanced detail wasn't really there. I guess my ability to research wasn't there either. Um, I was subpar when I first started. My logic was probably beyond average from the very beginning, but my rhetoric and things of that nature was subpar. That's what I would say about my debate.
Debating is certainly its own world. It's great to have a lot of knowledge, but to articulate it correctly and what to look for in terms of our
Yeah,
counter arguments or fallacies from your opponent that you need to like have somewhat of a pre-experienced or informative mind to even decipher in the first place. So I mean, honestly, dude, like I've always loved certain animes and I love debating about them, but at first, like, yeah, it's definitely not as easy as you would
yeah,
think
not at all.
because,
Yeah,
like Jay was saying, you definitely need to have the rhetoric and wherewithal to really put yourself in a good winning position. You
yeah.
know?
It's whoever can paint the canvas of rhetoric better will usually win, even regardless of knowledge. You could have someone that knows everything about Naruto, but if you have a guy
Yeah.
that has a very good point, a very good premise, beautifully constructed, you're not going to beat him because you lack rhetoric, regardless of your knowledge. He's just going to outpoint you in that department. Articulation is a skill in itself. Getting your mind in order, getting your tongue in order to sort of paint this canvas that is so well constructed that your opponent can't deconstruct it is a skill in itself. To be quite honest, that takes practice. It's like learning how to ride a bike. It's learning how to do anything. It's not easy to do at the beginning. You're gonna fall on your face a lot. So yeah, I was
That's how it
terrible.
be, man.
I'm ashamed of the shit I said, and now I was subpar as well. So I haven't watched Pokemon in a hot minute, but that film featuring Entei was beautiful. Yeah, I remember watching some as a kid. Were very good Pokemon movies. Honestly,
Dude,
manga
it was
says Minato.
magical, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Honestly, manga says Minato. Hey, Minato's very talented too. So, Roman Reigns versus Prime Mike Tyson. WWE logic. Roman Reigns. I
Oh
mean, he's the
god.
star of WWE. Obviously, if it's WWE logic, fucking, Vince McMahon's gonna have Reigns shit on Mike Tyson. So, in a real fight, Tyson absolutely slaughters him. But yeah. In WWE, they're gonna make Reigns win. This is gonna be scripted.
They really do have their own logic, though. That's
Yeah,
hilarious to
literally.
point out. I love it.
Also,
Yeah.
this is unrelated, but Goku's picture looks weird. I think because his hair is standing up in the GIF. It's just constantly standing.
Mm.
His hair goes way too high. No, it's because his hair's standing up here. So he got that Saiyan hairline. Yeah, all Saiyans have Saiyan
Oh
hairlines.
gosh.
Do you think AI could be used in streaming services like Disney Plus, Spotify, Apple Music? Certain aspects, maybe theoretically, you could tell Spotify, "Hey, play this song." You don't have to go through the interface and tap on the song yourself. I'm sure that'll happen in the next couple years. Yeah. Thoughts on high-res audio? What's the best? You're asking. Beats are very good, but there's software issues, specifically with iPhone devices that I've seen. They don't patch
Can't
those.
go wrong with Bose.
Bose is probably the
man. Those
best
have always been
overall.
solid.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Bose is probably overall as far as quality, software adaptation, adaptability, compatibility. It's probably Bose right now. Beats probably
Very
have the
reliable.
best. Yeah, Beats have the best sound quality, but their software is questionable. So, at least in comparison to Bose. Sony headphones are alright. They're like the bottom of the bunch.
Yeah, they're cool, man. Yeah, out of 3 for sure.
Yeah. Seth the Pro Groomer is hilarious. Yeah, that loser is hilarious. Prime Tyson. What is the Minato manga coming out? I'm not even sure. I think Kishimoto has to announce that. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully by the end of this year at least. We definitely have to delve into that. Yeah.
And the summer's gonna be dope for anime though, man. Like a lot of heat's coming out, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see you guys 3v1 Dogpile of Destiny. No offense to him, but that shit would be amazing. He did a 5v1 skeptic debate back in the day. Don't agree with everything, but at least I respect Destiny. He's a decent debater. Do I think he's correct on a lot of his sort of, I would guess, premises? No. I disagree with most of what he says, but he's a good debater. His rhetoric's pretty good. Not that he's debating Ben Shapiro or anything. He's most of the time not debating even a decent debater. So it's not like he's in competition. Recently, he went on Fresh and Fit and debated Rollo Tomasi and Sartain, and they held their own against him. But those guys are 40 plus years old, and they've had years of intellectual discussion and intellectual experience. So he did well against them, though. I'm actually surprised how well he did. But it really wasn't. It started to contort into something else. It really was. First they were debating about what I told you guys about in the last stream about Rollo's tweet where he talks about giving 7 pieces to lead to being a high value man, and he tries to claim that they're not, that it's not advice when clearly it is, and he's being disingenuous. But they started to talk about other things, and it really wasn't even a debate. It seemed more of like a discussion.
I get that vibe a lot from what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's you guys should listen to it though if you want to learn more about dating and stuff like that. It was really good between both of them. Destiny did very well. So, what if Naruto anime? Oh, wait, where was I here? But yeah, I would definitely debate Destiny one day if I get to those levels for sure. Y'all watching the latest things happening in Boruto anime? Code coming in. Yeah, I'm caught up with the manga, so I know all of that. But the anime I know I've heard it's doing well. The animations of these moments that are to be revered are doing well.
Finally, dude, after a year or so.
And I'm sure when they animate the time skip and all that's gonna be amazing. You can only imagine.
Oh, absolutely, bro. I think they just got. I don't even know where they are, but last I saw in the anime was Ishiki talking to Code and like telling him his plan.
It's really good.
Yeah,
so
those
that's
moments
where it's gonna get really fire when the time skip happens, dude. That's when the anime is gonna get like really good. It's gonna be like some part 1 OG Naruto shit or something.
Yeah,
hopefully, bro. Yeah.
I miss Kishimoto's art style. Hey man, yeah, me too, for sure. Get Naruto explaining Jay to write that. Yeah, Naruto explains pretty good too.
He's solid, man. Definitely.
Really cool. Have you ever thought about debating veganism? Seth Pro Groomer once brought up that he stopped debating that topic because it was always devolved into bullet biting competitions. It comes down to morality. That's why it starts. You can't really debate morality. That's why veganism is so hard to debate.
I have no issues with it personally, man. I think it's a conscious choice that one can make. I mean, dude, it's not detrimental at all. So what is there really to debate?
Personally,
I only eat fruit, so fuck everything else.
I don't care either, to be honest. Yeah, about that.
So. Unless you're like looking down upon people who aren't.
Yeah.
Following your dietary restrictions.
That's where it's bad. Like you can't be hateful about it or addictive.
Yeah, I feel like people start to develop some sort of elitism when it comes to veganism.
No, what I will say
superior to you, and you eat meat, so you're killing animals. I'm like, plants are plants are living too, right?
I'll debate all day, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, plants are.
It's hypocritical.
Plants are living also, right, dumbass? So
literally, and not even that. Like technically, if we're actually if there was a moment to actually have some harsh realism, because this is actually technically correct, you actually are supposed to eat meat. That's actually like a requirement, for health and everything.
For most
people,
the
fact that you're choosing, the fact that you're
people.
choosing not to even consume meat or whatever, blah blah, that technically, you can kind of fuck yourself health wise. I'm just saying, it is legit.
Fallacies galore in those debates. Yeah, that's a perfect fallacy to describe most pro-vegan debaters. That's exactly correct. Nirvana fallacies abundant.
I mean, there's a lot of folks that are like celiac or like they're lactose and things of that nature. So it's just more complimentary towards their
Yeah,
lifestyle. And
exactly.
like, I have nothing wrong against
You
that, dude.
can't.
So it's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
the veganism elitism stems from this idea of being morally righteous and like being so holy that you're saving Mother Earth and saving all these precious animals. And like just because you chop off a tree and it's not screaming doesn't mean that you're not killing a living thing, man. That's a false premise. Like it's faulty. So don't if you want to debate veganism, don't use that argument. So have you ever? I just read that. I want to get another job with more money, maybe learn a skill, get a girlfriend. But that's not a priority. Exercise and just some new. Yeah, I would say women, if you're young especially, it should not be a priority. To be honest, women are hypergamous. That's not a knock on women. That's just biological reality. And if you want the best chances to get the woman you want, you gotta develop yourself first. Don't focus on women. And don't focus on your
yeah.
girlfriend right now. Develop yourself, then go out, and I promise you'll have more success. So.
Or don't even like go out of your way to pursue it, man. Just
Yeah.
let things happen organically, man.
Exactly,
Because
that
like the
too.
more time you take for yourself,
Yeah.
the better the relationship
Don't
will
chase.
be as a result.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't chase, man.
Exactly.
Literally.
What's your opinion on A-list? A list? I don't know what you mean by that.
Same, brother.
Yeah, if you want to explain further. Destiny admitted that most of his debates are boring as fuck because his opponents are stupid. Hey, yeah, most of them are.
Mid-tier at best.
Yeah, they never make it past the premise part. It's because they don't even understand philosophy, let alone how to combat his premise. He's decent, and he's using philosophical rules in his debate to formally debate, and these guys are just regular, like a Twitch streamer or something. Like, what do you expect,
Average
dude?
Joes, bro.
What do you expect? You're gonna slam them. Like, it's like Six or someone like or myself debating some guy that doesn't know shit about anime. Clearly, is gonna be beaten. Doesn't know.
Yeah, what's the challenge in that, man?
Yeah, there's no
Kind of wasting your own time.
no
yeah,
growth in that. Yeah.
literally, none at all. No humility to be had, no growth to be had.
Yeah.
Nothing.
B12 in the sort. Yeah, B12 is important. What's your opinion on A-lister from Has Been Hottie? I don't think I'm familiar with that.
Same here, man. I don't know the acronym for it at all.
Yeah,
I can look it up though, real
Yeah.
quick.
A-lister from
Has
Has
Been-
Been Hotel. Has Been Hotel. Yeah, I'm not sure what that
Hotel.
is. We could look it up though.
Yeah, it looks like it's a show of sorts.
A-lister. Has Been Hotel fan art. That's what this. Oh, it's let's see here. Yeah, it seems like a show or anime.
Uh-huh. Yeah, what was the question?
The aesthetics seem familiar. Let's see. Versus Wiki. How high do these people scale? I think I've seen this
I'm looking
aesthetic
right now.
before. Natural abilities. Let's see here.
I'm just looking at like random.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. Abilities, awesome.
Musical dance.
Demon's transformation. Oh lord.
Pyrokinesis. Okay, they actually have some powers. Outfit alteration. I guess that's interesting.
Shadow manipulation. That sounds dope, bro.
DB.
Spatial warping, dog, dude.
Nice.
Pyrokinesis, manifestation. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it seems interesting.
Oh, unique arsenal. Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Continuing on, vegans who argue that eating meat in contexts that aren't necessary for survival is as morally bad as fucking animals are really annoying. Yeah, it's just elitism.
Yeah, and don't let that radical ideology like portray the mass of those folks. Like that's just like a very, very few that just give a bad taste for the people in general.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah,
it's not. They definitely don't represent everybody.
Yeah, exactly. That would be like very like disingenuous to claim.
Let's see. Oh, this is a good question from Chung. Where is it? Have you guys seen people who look down on anime debaters and they tell other people that the sport is insignificant? What are your thoughts on that? I think it's looking down on anime in general. They think of anime as childish, but that's certainly incorrect, or I would say a naive interpretation of anime. Anime carries more weight than just the aesthetics and the cool explosions, especially the great ones. Naruto, Dragon Ball, Attack on Titan. They inspire. They push a lot of young men to new heights. The ideologies embedded in them do. And I think that anime debaters, they kind of revere these animes because of the emotional appeal, and they sort of carry that legacy when they debate these things to show, out of a sign of respect. And I think calling that insignificant is just more elitism. Like, oh, you acting like a child. I'm like, is that? I don't think so. I think I just found something that's appealing to me. Just like you like whatever you like, whether it's sports.
Yeah, there's people who debate about sports all the fucking time. Like, I don't look down on them.
At
Like,
all.
if that's something that you enjoy and like are super into, then go for it, man.
So
but
it might not be politics.
look down upon people.
It might not be politics I'm talking about, but that appeals to you. This appeals to me. It's simple as that. So.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, that's extremely just disheartening, and it's spiteful nature for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. How many calories a day do you guys try to eat? I need 2,800 a day to maintain my weight at 6'5". Any food tips? Drink about 1 kVA. So I'm trying to build muscle mass. I'm 6 foot. I'm not that tall. I'm not 6'5", but I'm 6 foot. I eat 3,000 plus, but I am very active, like almost daily in the gym. So I eat 3,000 plus. I would say eat clean. I think that's the best way to go. Grains, pasta without very unhealthy sort of sauces, if you will. And as far as liquids, I would just stick to the basics, man. Water, tea. That's all I drink personally. That's very hard to do for most people, but I don't, drink anything besides that. As far as foods, like I said, grains, pastas. What else do I usually eat? Lean meats only. I don't really even eat red meat. I know some people are big on that.
Nah, seldomly.
I really don't eat red
I do
meat.
as well.
It's not the best for your arteries.
I mean, I enjoy it though.
Yeah. I definitely enjoy it for sure. I definitely enjoy it. Burgers and stuff. It's just not very common these days. I eat lean meats, fish, chicken, and I really don't have cheat meals. That's hard. I'm a disciplined freak, to be honest. Like, some people even think like, oh man, it's not even normal, but that's just me. But I would say stick to eating clean as much as possible. If you're trying to build mass, you're gonna have to eat more. There's no way around that. Especially if you're an ectomorph and you just naturally burn quickly, you're gonna have to eat even more, actually.
High metabolism. Yeah.
And stick to the
and
gym
also the less ingredients. That's kind of the better. Like, you don't want to have a complexity of ingredients and like artificial colorings and things of that nature. Like, you just want to keep it simple, and it's pretty rational to understand what's clean to eat these days.
It's funny because most individuals in the West, specifically the United States, are obese, and they think that they try to paint the idea of being healthy as rocket science. I mean, it's very simple. You just don't want to do it.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't want to do it.
Especially with all the information we have these days.
Stop eating like shit. Go to the gym, lift something heavy, go for a walk. It's really not that hard. You don't have to be David Goggins and run hundreds of miles a day to lose weight, man. It's not that complicated. You don't have to be Floyd Mayweather and run miles a day, every night. Like, it's not that difficult, man. Even go for a fucking walk. Start small, and you'll build momentum.
You never know. Yeah, exactly. Just start somewhere. That's the main thing, and keep it consistent. Yeah, literally.
That's the hardest part, building momentum. But that can also, work to your, not your benefit, but your harm. Because if you build negative momentum, it's harder to escape that. If you're used to eating like shit, laying on your couch, eating Cheetos all day, being sedimentary, it's gonna be hard to break that momentum because you're so used to it. It's.
And once you get in that momentum, it's almost therapeutic and euphoric to get in that rhythm of exercise, and it becomes almost addicting in a way.
Oh yeah.
So
the addiction.
It's just that first hurdle, bro. It really just comes down to that.
Exactly. Yeah, the first hurdle, and us humans are instinctually habitual, and we will become addicted to good things. Trust me. The gym, eating healthy, feeling good. You're gonna get addicted to that feeling, and when you see fucking soda or fucking chips, you're gonna say, "Fuck that. I feel good."
I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm straight. Yeah.
But if you're trying to gain weight, do it the right way. A lot of people that are really, really thin, they're like, I'll just eat like shit. No, don't do that. Do it the right way. Go to the gym, lift really heavy, especially if you're trying to gain weight, and eat a lot of clean stuff. It's simple as that. So, it was a decently sized bullet bite, but it worked on them. Yeah, a lot of that goes out the window when you don't care about optics, or your sense of optics is, I get attention, so I win. Yeah, it's elitism. Exactly. That's the whole idea of, the attention. It's reverement. You want to be revered. You want to get the notoriety. It goes beyond the principle. It's not even about the principle anymore. It's about the sort of reverement and attention and the glamour, I guess you will, that you get from this morally righteous victory that people see in their eyes. You know, it starts to defeat the principle of things. You know, like these echo chambers of whatever social media platform we're discussing, the left or the right. It's not even about the principle anymore. It's about getting the attention, going to the other side of the political spectrum and saying, "Oh, you're fuck you, you're whatever it is," and then you get, you know, applause from people. Yeah, that's right. Fuck him. Like, it's about the attention. You know, it's not even about the principle. Defeats the whole idea of ideology. It's more so just echo chamber, tribalism, if you will. So, and
that's unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's what human beings do, man. They take a good ideology and they interpret it amongst individuals and becomes fucking a melting pot of just confusing ideologies before you know it. So
yeah, it's faulty.
At its core,
faulty echo
at its core,
man. So
literally, yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Guess, guys, what's your response to a bad woman's classic "Who You Hurt" card? Oh my, dude, I've heard that so many times. When someone says "Who hurt you," I just say, "Hey, man, I think what I said hurt you." I think the reality hurts you. I think that's the problem.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I just think that women. This is going down the whole red pill manosphere discussion, but women just have much different lives than men. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It doesn't mean that they're better or worse than us. They just have a different reality. You know, they at 18, 19 can get flown out. They can get, you know, all these opportunities that a regular 18-year-old male would never get. And because of that, not because of their own fault, women develop this different perspective on life. They think that life is inherently easy for all people. That's just not the case.
Yeah, it's their normality. It's
people don't realize that. Not people. Women don't realize that a regular 18-year-old guy, his phone is fucking dry, dude. They don't get nothing. They'll be lucky to get one reply, whether it's Tinder, Instagram, whatever it is, and slid in the DMs. That's
and they hit
up
106 to even get that one reply.
Yeah. You know? Women do these experiments all the time. They can scroll for several minutes on Tinder. Yeah, look at this. Check this out. It's a whole different perspective. Doesn't mean women are bad people. That's just their reality, you know. And when women are relayed this message, and you know it sounds so cold and bad for a man's life, they tend to contort that relaying of information as playing the victim. No, this is the reality. They're not victims. I think every guy should get their shit together, and they're not a victim. Then you get their shit together. That's all. I don't think that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a bad thing either. It just makes you grow faster than what inherently blessed individual would get. So
exactly.
It may seem difficult, but fuck, man, it's a good thing to behold.
And I don't blame women for being hypergamous. They should pick the best guy. What the fuck should they? Why shouldn't they? You know what the hell?
Yeah.
Why would they settle for 20-year-old fat obese loser eating Cheetos when they could choose the 25-year-old Chad making 6 figures a year? Why shouldn't they pick that guy? I don't understand.
And why shouldn't a Chad pick a super hot babe over hypertension ass individual?
What's funny is what I just described is okay, but when the Chad doesn't want the hypertension person that's obese and that's a bitch, he's a misogynist. He's a fat shaming piece of shit. Why is that? But you could choose the Chad. I don't understand that.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. So I just think "Who Hurt You" is a justification to the logical fallacies that a lot of women have. That's what that phrase is utilized for. So it's a very subtle ad hominem, an implicit one. Yeah. Not explicit. It's implicit. It's implicit, but yeah. I started simple. Cutting is a bit easier for tall people. Yeah. I'm not super tall, but that's true. And I started on my core 15 minutes a day. Made me feel really good and clears my mind. Hey, dude, exercise is one of the best ways to relieve stress easily. For sure, man. It's healthy as well. It's not fucking drugs. It's not porn or whatever. This is a healthy way to relieve it. That's why I'm so against porn, man. Porn is fucking it's not good for you, man. That's all I gotta say. It's not.
It really isn't, man. Yeah, you just get so sensitive to like actual. It's really bad, dude. And it's sad to see people get addicted to that too.
Easily.
Man. Like it's horrible.
Most guys lie.
Terry Crews?
Oh, dude, he's a perfect example. He's like, dude, I had to go to rehab. That's how fucking bad it got. Dead ass. I almost lost my wife, my family, and that's real. It's a problem, man. It can consume you when you are always, seeing. Jordan Peterson described it beautifully. He talks about what happens is your mind adapts to being aroused to a new kind of arousement. It's not a natural one either, because naturally what happens is males, they develop this sort of sexual anxiety, right? Because they need to find a partner to relieve that sexual anxiety. But what happens is porn removes that anxiety. And what happens? Men become docile. Men become extremely timid. Men never really develop into a very, I would say, viable and attractive partner as far as finances or whatever, because they get released through an unnatural means and honestly an unhealthy means, I would say. And he describes it very well, and he's right. It's who's proud of that, right? He made a good point. Who's proud of that? Who would go to their friends and be like, oh yeah, man, I've been watching porn 7 days a week. I'm feeling great. Like, it's not something to be
that's
proud
horrible,
of.
man.
It's not.
That's not healthy at all.
Yeah, not.
And you get used to that for satisfaction, like you're saying. Like you don't even want to chase a real woman at the end of the day, and then you get depressed, and then look what happens.
You know what the dangerous part is you start to become resentful towards women because they don't want you. You're like, oh, fuck these hoes, man. Like, and you start to objectify women even more, and then you really become a misogynist. Those guys are really misogynists, by the way. So what happens is you start to build resentment, like, oh, fuck, man, fuck these hoes. Like, no, dude, you're a fucking loser. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're a straight scum.
You're a simp.
Yeah, bro.
You're a fucking loser. You're fat as fuck. You have no ambition and resolve. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So, and as far as the neurological effects, Peterson had what was his name? Huberman on, and he was talking about it. He didn't even have an opinion. He said, listen, I don't get political. I'm just going to give you the cold, hard facts. He said that it starts to contort your mind, and that's where the desensitization comes in, because you start to become desensitized. Your mind starts to create new neural pathways to achieve arousement. It's not natural, and it starts to really become a toxic thing. Even
well, that's why it becomes addictive, because you need to like consume pornography to even get off in the first place, and it's like chasing a dragon with drugs almost, dude. It's a really deadly spiral.
Porn is some sort of intangible drug. Honestly, it really is, man.
Well, yeah, absolutely, bro. Yes. It's it's euphoric, you know what I mean, and like people keep chasing that over and over, and then obviously you get like a tolerance towards that sort of situation, and then as a result, I mean, you don't care about even investing energy into other people or a relationship, you just want the quick solution.
And to be, I guess, transparent, when I was younger, dude, I had a problem too, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm done." Like, I started to become desensitized, man. Honestly, I was.
Everyone's used it, bro. You know what I mean? But like,
I feel like
if you let it control you, that's where you're going wrong.
I just thought I got to a point personally where it started to desensitize me, and even my physical intimate moments, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, it was the girl. It's not the girl. The girl was not ugly, but I was having some dysfunction. I was like, dude, something has to change. I felt like less of a man too. I was like, dude, I have to change this.
I respect that, G. I respect that, man.
I went pretty far. I fucking put like filters on my shit, like adult filters on my shit. I was like, this is done. And I never looked back. I was like, fuck this shit. Yeah, I'm done, bro. Like, I never looked back after that. I was like, fuck that. Done. So it might sound extreme to the average 15-year-old. He's like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? This is porn.
You're a loser.
Trust me. Yeah. It's going to catch up to you. Trust me. And a lot of guys don't want to admit it. That's the problem. Most guys don't.
Hey, you need discipline, man. It's so easily available, bro. So you really got to be strict about it, dog.
Too easy. It's too easily available. Yeah.
So easy, bro. Yeah.
Huge problem. But yeah, folks, if you even watch porn, I highly recommend cut it off. That's all I got to say. Let's see here. Confirmation bias, to be honest. Yeah. Thoughts on Rational Wiki. It's a very biased place, but there's some really good articles there. I don't mind, a sort of wiki with different perspectives. Any wiki at all. So, when people get presented with that data, some try to meander with slothful inductions. It's a good point. Deduction is very rare in today's world. Induction,
absolutely.
Speculation, logical fallacies. Those are more prevalent in the regular world. Maybe not the field of academia. It's not, but in the regular world, fallacies are more abundant, easily, than logical valid deductions and logical strategies. Unfortunately, so drop the link to that core work. Oh, I think he's talking to somebody else. The article tearing the story of the Bible, especially Paradise Lost, apart is pretty funny, if a little cringe in an old school internet atheist way. Yeah. Their point that Satan getting anywhere with this rebellion. Okay, I think he's still describing the story. Pornography seduces men
okay.
away from the depth of genuine human connection. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, rapidly, dude. It's not natural.
At all. Pornography addiction in men undermines intimacy, distorts expectation, and hinders fulfilling relationships. That's essentially what it does, man. And I've experienced it myself. Certainly did that. Kakazu Soul is all of Dragon Ball. Oh yeah, Kakazu is omnipotent, man. All of them. He solos Naruto. The only guy that would beat him is the ramen guy. That's all.
Oh, that would be a tough one, right? Yeah.
That would be a tough one. The raw durability.
That would be a tough one.
Ramen
Yeah, literally.
raw durability. That'd be very difficult.
I love ramen, dude. So
dude.
I mean,
look what
he go hard, bro.
Think about the ramen. The ramen shop survived the pain arc. It survived Momoshiki's attack. It survived Ishiki's attack. He's still standing. His ramen is still standing. He fed Naruto and built him into KCM2 Naruto. You know, even bury him on Naruto. It's because of his ramen. People don't realize that. So.
Yeah, man. If it wasn't for the power of ramen, Naruto wouldn't be the same individual he is today. Like, not even close. Yeah.
Appreciate you being open to your time with porn watching, but I agree with you. Porn should not be consumed. Yeah, man. Stay clear.
Hey, just stay away from it, man. Just get you a woman or something, bro.
Exactly.
You know, like, that's a lot better, man.
Way better. And it's natural.
Yeah.
It's better. I think in a general, a man should show restraint in his life. Not just from porn, but shit he shouldn't do. Like, you know, don't pick up those Cheetos or don't, whatever it is, don't do it. Showing restraint is an indication that a man is, you know, a man to be respected. You know, if you can't show restraint, whether it's emotions, fucking porn, there's a higher statistical probability that you're a fucking loser. Just look at the archetype of a successful man: disciplined, stoic, gets his shit together, has good habits, wakes up early, you know, does what he's supposed to do. It's really simple. It's just applying yourself. That's the hard part. People think it's rocket science to become successful. It's not. It's really just applying yourself consistently. That's what it is. So
yeah, don't allow conveniences to control your enjoyment of life. You know, you have to balance that shit out, man, to really like appreciate the spectrum of things.
Yeah, and like we were talking about last stream, the whole cringe culture. That's cringe. If people say you're cringe for improving yourself, then fuck them. They're probably losers themselves. You're cringe.
Obviously,
man.
They're not looking out for you, dude. Yeah.
Like, I remember I was on a post about anti-porn. A bunch of people in the comments, that's cringe. I'm like, oh, it's cringe that you're trying to be disciplined, but it's not cringe that you're a fucking loser with your dick in your hand every day. To me, that's cringe.
They're probably all 14.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, these people are fucking pathetic. It's fucking crazy, man. It's like a culture to justify being a loser. That's what it is.
And every man experiences this too, dude. It's like at least an experience, man.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's like
sure.
it's kind of like an unspoken truth, but it really does need to be talked about more, I think, because it is kind of like a crisis in itself.
Oh, dude, I don't think people realize how big of a crisis it is. It's a big crisis. Huge. Yeah. And I'm glad guys like Peterson and, you know, the neurologist Andrew Huberman and guys like that are talking about it, man. It's a fucking problem.
It needs to be talked about, man. Certainly.
Yeah, I think
because a lot of like adolescents are just caught up in, you know, the convenience, especially nowadays, man. It's just at the tip of your fingers.
Yeah.
And it's like, why fucking bother getting rejected when I can just do this whenever I want to?
Yeah.
You know?
And then you grow resentful.
Yeah, that's what ideology is. It's exactly. not beneficial at all towards one's growth. Especially during those times.
Humans are designed to experience tough times. That's how they adapt to become better. When you're in a first world country where, you know, first world conveniences are so accessible, humans start to deviate away from their biological priorities, which, you know, what their body really wants from them no longer is the case. Eating fucking Cheetos, watching porn, whatever it is. That's not the right way to do things. It's not, you know?
Just walking around with Cheeto dust on your fingers all the time. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, really? Bro, that's not acceptable, man. Unacceptable.
That's not a good look, G.
Yeah. People try to justify it. That's cringe. Like, shut the fuck up, man. You being a fucking loser is cringe. So,
yeah, you saying that is cringe, bro.
Like, you're the one that has to go home at night and look at yourself in the fucking mirror. Taking up the whole mirror with your fat ass. Like, shut the fuck up.
Damn, bro.
So I'm going home, mirror. Looking myself in the mirror, happy. You're going home with Cheetos in your hand, going to sleep with, you know, with the Cheeto bag next to you. That's cringe to me, bro. So, honestly. So it's you either want or you don't. As simple as that. Do you want to be?
I'll say this,
successful or
man.
not?
It's your life if you want to be degenerate,
Yeah.
but don't fucking
Hey, man.
like project your insecurities onto
Yeah,
me. That's where we draw the line.
Exactly,
you
man.
know?
Like, don't project your bullshit onto me. Don't do that shit, man.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. To be frank, to porn, I think it's fine to beat one to it if it's in a context where you have morning wood and can't be back to sleep. You have morning wood.
That's a valid reason, man. I mean,
I would just say, me personally, I tend to have an addictive personality. I'm done with that shit. I'm done. But hey, man, if you're
it's so funny.
Yeah. But hey, man, if you're like a successful person and once in a while you beat off, I guess. But I just recommend in general don't do it. But hey, to each their own. Stan Smith versus Peter Griffin. Both these guys are universal. I think Griffin is beyond reality. He has like things where he's like in a white void that transcends reality, and I think in general, Peter Griffin has better feats. From what I know, I'm not too.
I haven't watched American Dad in so long, man. So long. Yeah.
I think Griffin has better feats. I think, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What will probably be the first thing we would see you do to do an audio for audio or tech talk? If I had to choose between the two, dude, TED Talks are probably nerve wracking. You're in front of a bunch of people and shit. I'd be up for it though, but probably audiobook to start out. If my legacy grows to new heights and I go in front of a bunch of people, I probably would do that eventually. Like publicly in front of a bunch of people. It's nerve-wracking stuff, though, man. You gotta have the confidence.
TED Talk especially, man. Like you have to really get your shit together, man. Like you're there to inform a lot of people. Take that shit seriously.
Yeah, and
like,
millions of people are gonna watch it, like online too.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
First thing, it's definitely audiobook before a TED Talk for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad I grew up without having everything in seconds. I feel AI can make us lazier. Hey, I would say in 20 to 30 years, kids then are even gonna have it easier than kids now. Just watch with AI. They probably won't even need to turn their phone on. They could say, turn on. And like, go to Spotify. Play this. They just say what they want. Yeah, just watch.
It's kind of dangerous, man, because like as generations increase, like our life expectancy goes up, our convenience in terms of technological advancement just increase. And so we just consume more, we're more complacent, and who knows where this trajectory is going to take humanity, especially here in the Western culture.
Exactly, yeah.
Because we really are at the apex of it all right now.
Yeah.
Unless we talk about like, Dubai or like Tokyo. But for the most part, we really,
There's this this inevitable dichotomy of comfort. There's obviously humanity wants to reach a certain level of comfort, but there's a part of us that still wants to maintain being able to reach your full potential. And I think to a large degree, they're not mutually exclusive, but they're certainly not mutually inclusive. With one comes less of the other. The more comfort is achieved, honestly, the higher probability that most people won't reach their potential. Most people will be average or below average. Most people will be obese. Most guys will be resentful. The bottom 80% of men will probably fuck one or two chicks in their 70 years of living. That's what's going to happen inevitably. And women, conversely, at 18, 19, they're going to have an abundance of options, and they're going to be all fighting for the top 20%, and most of them are going to be single with 4 cats, 40 plus years old, resentful of men, and all that's because of comfort, man, unfortunately. So there has to be some sort of, maybe not technological, like fight against technology. I don't agree with that. It should be an ideological clash of people trying to hold people accountable, man or woman. I think people should be held accountable, like to reach their potential. Fuck the conveniences. Go to the gym, man. Just do what you're supposed to do. It's really that simple.
Yeah. If you don't learn, sometimes like a lot of people are stubborn in that way. Like if you don't learn on your own, you're never really gonna learn truly. Exactly. And sometimes having these obstacles in life is really bring that obstacle in your face forefront, and you either deal with it or you just like you just fail essentially.
Yeah, and honestly, bitch.
Yeah,
everyone wants to have a purpose in life, man.
Yeah, and honestly, the only problem I have with the anime community is the fact that people, like I said in the last stream, is the cringe culture, like being against improving yourself and saying it's cringe. I'm like, why is that a problem? Like, Naruto's not like that. You think Naruto would give a fuck if he told him that? He's grinding every day. What about Goku? You're going to tell him, oh man, you trained the hyperbolic talent chamber for years. You're fucking cringe. You think he'd give a fuck? You should follow that guy. not be talking about what's cringe and being a fat ass and eating Cheetos, watching Naruto. You think Naruto would be happy with you? You're such a fan of Naruto.
Bro.
You think he'd be happy? Fuck no. He'd call you a
That's,
fucking
that's,
loser.
that's the funny element of it. It's like they're real quick to act stupid and be dumb and like fucking criticize in a way that's completely hypocritical when they're over here like fixating on animes that literally have values that are the opposite of what they
so
advocate
ironic.
for.
Imagine if Vegeta saw some of these anime fans. Like, dude, you're a fucking loser. Fat motherfucker. Come to the fucking gym right now. Fucking, dude,
imagine, dude.
Imagine Madara seeing some fucking fat loser watching Naruto. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Get
Or even my guy and Lee, dude. Like, come on,
Rock
bro.
Lee. Dude, all these guys would fucking flame you. Get your shit together. That's what all of them would tell you. Get your shit together. Especially Vegeta. Vegeta would be like, get your shit together, bro. Naruto, get your shit together, man. All these guys would say that. It's pathetic. There's some like ironic tendency for a lot of the anime fans in the fandom to be just low level, you know. So, what would be shocking me the most is guys who leave porn for even worse things like virtual girlfriend. Oh, dude, webcam shit. Dude. It's because what happens is biologically, at least, is the body starts to look for more extreme forms to release tension, right? To reach climax, right? So what happens is it starts small, right? You see pictures online of some naked bitches, then you go to Pornhub, and then it starts to escalate. Then you start seeing weird shit. A lot of guys end up watching weird shit they probably would never admit public. Start watching weird shit, whether it's, I don't know, the weird shit that's on there. I don't even know.
Fetishes or
trannies. Honestly, a lot of guys go to tranny shit. It's nasty.
Oh no!
And then they start going to live
shit.
shit.
Fucked up, G.
Yeah, deadass. You'd be surprised. And then they go to webcam shit. Then they go farther and farther and farther and farther into this dark abyss until they're fucking addicted, man. They're fucking addicted, and they
I'm
need the
sorry, but like, I'm be real with you. If you're a clown to be watching some webcams,
bro,
shit, and like literally spending fucking thousands and thousands, that's like some OnlyFans shit,
Simp
bro.
shit.
Like,
Simp shit.
that's just sad. Like, go get a fucking girlfriend and get laid and have like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
Like that's a problem, and people will be surprised how common it is. It's a real problem.
Like if you're gonna watch porn, like it's whatever if you're doing it like here and there, whatever. Like, or even like, especially there's people that are even like in full relationship and they'll still like do that here and there, whatever. Like whatever, you do you. But like if you're just solely doing that shit, like if it's something you need to live on, or like that's the only form you do, and you just keep like escalating even further, like that's just sad.
Yeah, I just think that it's a dangerous abyss to dwell in. You know, if you can do it, if you're already successful and you watch it once in a blue moon, that's fine.
Yeah, like whatever.
I think the most dangerous time is when you're a young man or in your high school or something. That's where there's a risk that it could affect your life, dude. I'm talking. I've seen guys.
You could get addicted to it.
I've seen stories, dude. I saw this guy. He was talking about. He's like, dude, I'm 40 years old. I lost my fucking wife. I lost my family.
What the fuck?
I couldn't stop watching porn, dude. She gave me an ultimatum, and now I'm so addicted I couldn't stop it. And dude, that shit is real. That shit could happen. That's a problem. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking,
but you're not wrong though. Like I've heard, I haven't seen it, but I've heard many cases of people just like
honestly, it's an epidemic. Honestly.
Yeah.
Favorite element to bend in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Personally, my favorite element has always probably been
fire.
Probably fire.
Fire and lightning, dude.
Oh, dude, the lightning. Oh man.
Metal bending go hard.
Oh, the metal bending, dude. Oh, dude, that was so.
Metal bending go hard, dog. I'm just saying.
That was heat. Yeah, that was really heat. Yeah. The lightning was super heat. When Iroh used the lightning, I was like,
Iroh, dude. Yeah, Nazula. Yeah, bro.
Honestly, Iroh is probably the coldest character to me personally in Avatar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's super cold. His
speeches.
Yeah.
Yamamoto vibes.
Oh, dude. Yeah, for sure. His speeches were peak. He probably gave the best speeches in all of Avatar. You know, when he used to mentor Zuko, peak moments.
Isn't it the strongest of the White Lotus too? I believe. But, I mean, like the guy was a beast. Bro.
Oh, he was a monster. Like I think honestly, there's a theoretical possibility that he could have beaten the Fire Lord, but obviously that was the Avatar's destiny. But hey, man, I wouldn't have mind seeing him go against his brother. To be honest, I would love to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like him versus his brother during the solar eclipse, dude. That would.
Zuko was never like that powerful to me, especially like Iroh just always seemed to be the best one.
Yeah, Iroh was just like the master. Like he had that one big failure, And Bossing say he failed to conquer it when he was, with the Fire Nation, but he was the guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was that guy. So, honestly, to me, he's my favorite character to this day.
Love that series, man. It's so great, dude.
When I was a kid, I probably binge watched it like 5 or 6 times, over and over.
And then Kakashi comes along and masters it all.
Oh, dude.
The next episode.
Yeah. There's just guys in anime that stand out like that. Iroh, Kakashi, Piccolo, Gojo now.
Also, the past avatars like Yoshi and shit, like that was sick. Man.
Oh, dude, I love the history behind it. How detailed they got with that. You can't beat the OG Avatar. I know there's like Legend of Korra and shit. To me, that's like mid.
Korra's bro. Like,
bro, imagine if Madara was an Avatar and he's over here saying all this shit. And he's like, bro, all these motherfuckers are trash. Like, I could do all this shit.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah.
Verse. Unless
but like he sees an Avatar do wind style. He's like, all right, wind style. You know what I mean? Like, see someone do fire style. He's like, all right, fire style. He just does all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only argument for there's like an argument for it's kind of ratty, but there's an argument that the Avatar is universal because they're like a conceptual god, but I think it's ratty. Okay. But besides that, yeah, Madara would fucking solo.
Madara would be roasting them all though. Like he would be like,
Susanoo,
like I can do all this shit. Yeah.
How would they even get?
Well, in Korra, the Avatar can interact with like this other realm, and so it's like some weird like omnipresent ability.
Yeah, that's the argument that like the Avatar is like beyond like super scale super high.
The normal realm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Madara with his Susanoo.
They don't ever incorporate that in their fights, though, right? That's just
not really. No.
Yeah.
There's probably
Korra was weird, man.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say it right now. Yeah.
Mid,
made his best.
They sit around waiting for you to fall off the, like the album I'm making. J. Cole, dude, J. Cole's fire.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Goat, one of the goats.
You don't play around.
Yeah, one of the best lyricists of the last 20 years for sure. Thoughts on Machiavelli's The Prince and its ideologies on how to rule over people. I don't think I'm familiar with Machiavelli.
I'm here, brother.
Yeah.
Wait, have y'all watched ATLA?
I have not, good sir.
Avatar: The Last Airbender? Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Man.
Oh, then yeah, absolutely.
Many times.
I grew up on this shit.
Many times, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Imagine Sasuke could mix lightning with fireball jutsu. Oh, dude, that'd be fire. Literally, be fire.
That'd be heat, bro. Yeah, literally.
I thought the way Iroh introduced lightning was peak, man. And then Avatar, when he was trying to.
Yeah, he was sick, bro.
Yeah.
He had like the Itachi vibe, just sipping on tea,
yeah.
just like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, he was like never really in any danger per se. Even when he was surrounded by, I think Zuko betrayed him, and he got surrounded by a bunch of firebenders. He whipped all their asses. He was just never he was never really a danger. Yeah.
No.
He was that guy. If someone tried to wank Avatar Universal, if anyone to beat them without debunking it outright would be to try and argue for multiversal Naruto. Oh God, yeah, I'd probably have to wank Naruto to Universal Plus.
Mass proportions. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Say Kaguya Universal or something. But yeah.
Speaking of fucking noodles, you've seen this fucking Discord shit where he says 261-0 unbeaten for the Kakashi versus Pain.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, feel free to keep asking questions, folks. We have another question that's pretty interesting as well. Feel free to keep asking questions. Whatever it is, we enjoy the tangents as well. And by the way, make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. Really appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Super chats obviously take priority. We also do live reactions if you guys want to see that. We'll react to whatever. Obviously not weird shit or anything like that, sus shit. But let us know. We react to it live if you guys want. And yeah. Next question here is pretty interesting as well. If the ancient
do the good old debunks, you know?
Yeah, even that. If the ancient civilizations from the past were so powerful and great, why did they not record their architectural achievements? Was it out of fear or because of greed, in your opinion? So, my answer to this would be, with power comes inevitable tribalism and pride. I'd also say with every decision blossoms the inevitable fruition of a multivariate premise for coming to such a decision. So, hence, I tend to believe that these ancient superpowers most likely hid their achievements due to all the above, and then some. It could be greed, it could be fear, it could be their own pride, saying, fuck that, only we will ever know these secrets. There's many reasons why. And of course, there's the room for error argument. They just maybe forgot to record. Maybe it was lost in translation. Maybe, the environment over human history destroyed these records. But for the most part, I would argue that the majority of what wasn't prescribed or scribed was intentional. They probably did it for some reason, whether it was greed, fear of secrets being discovered. Um, but yeah, ancient civilizations definitely had their own pride. We could see it throughout human history. Even in current day, there's pride. With the CCP, the United States, Russia. Even these superpowers still contend with each other. Back then, it was different. It was Rome, the Greeks, the Chinese dynasties like the Ming Dynasty, the Islamic empires. There's always been some sort of pride. So, yeah, there's certainly secrets, even to this day, current governments, many secrets that we don't even know. So,
Yeah, for archaeologists, it's more so looking for unbiased evidence
yeah,
that
exactly.
indicates
Yeah,
diet habits, like trade routes, things of that nature. Historians are more about discovering the secrets based off of archaeological or historical documents, rather.
yeah,
But there are a lot of like archaeological pieces that we can observe from that indicate like how they did things. Like for example, we have irrigation, we have pottery, we have stone monuments, and even in Europe with the castles, um, it was evident that mold and moisture were a huge detriment towards stone monuments, whereas in Japan you had like wooden structures that were not only aesthetically pleasing but very practical in terms of ventilation and things of that
yeah,
nature. So um, archaeologically, there have been innovations even after the Middle Ages that have been progressively growing, and with the tangible evidence that can be excavated, like I said, pottery or tools, for example, like drills, it does indicate how they built things at least, and what materials they had at that certain
yeah.
time.
That's a
But
that's a good point because essentially what archaeologists and these researchers do is they discover these things and they don't necessarily need scribed records. If anything, these things that they discover allow us to already see the sophistication and intricacies of these things, right? Whether it's a
yeah,
structure, whether it's a tool, whether it's whatever it is, the sophistication is going to show regardless, and we don't really necessarily need records from irrigation to architecture to geometry. um, the
to tell a
sophistication,
story.
yeah, it tells the story for you. It's implied. So that's a good point. And regardless of records, records are more so for other things like religion and things like that. But more tangible things we discovered just from seeing these visual phenomenons or monuments. So yeah, records
What
are
is
most.
weird though is like the Aborigines, like they survived for how long, and there's no like evidence of them except like murals on natural stones and things of that nature.
Yeah,
The Mayans, we deciphered their language to indicate how they had a calendar and things of that nature. So it just varies upon culture, and oftentimes archaeologists are looking at sites that are like predating civilizations that had a ordained written linguistic
yeah,
system.
exactly.
These are ancient civilizations that
Yeah,
we're talking about here. So
yeah,
just take
yeah,
that into
exactly.
account.
There wasn't even a linguistic system yet, or a written system
No,
to some of them. Some of them are
yeah,
so ancient that it was before humans could even comprehend or have even developed a linguistic system for communication. So all we do have is, what they left upon the environment. That's all.
yeah,
That's all we
dude.
have. So
Woven baskets,
yep,
pottery. Those are all extreme innovations for back then. Like imagine carrying water easily like that. Like that's huge, bro. Or
yeah.
grains. Like
Back then,
all,
that's
all that
like
shit's huge, bro.
back then that's
That's
like
huge.
like the internet now. That's how it was back then. So
Yeah,
yeah, that
yeah,
was
exactly.
monumental. So yeah, that's a good question though. But yeah, continuing on, will Jay ever debate noodles? Uh, Obviously I'm more
Uh,
open to it now, but I mean, uh, possibly maybe one day. The you know, that's all I'll say about that. What if dinosaurs had lived? Honestly, we would have tamed them by now. They probably would have been our pets, or we would have killed them off anyway because they're too large to
yeah,
be terrain.
yeah.
Yeah, they either would have been tamed, or maybe they would have been crossbreeded and kind of developed into something that we could utilize, like some sort of cattle or something. Or they would have been extinct because they're just too large for the terrain. We can't build buildings with fucking T Rexes running around, stuff like that. So yeah, we would have controlled them. Humans are just vastly superior intellectually. So I want a live reaction, but but YouTube tells me messages was not sent. Edit and try again when I try for a super chat. We do have Cash App and a Streamlab set up. If you want to go through there, just let me know so I could check it. But I know I am aware that YouTube has been giving issues with super chats.
It is faulty at times. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me check myself if I can send one to see if it's system wide or if it's person to person. See here. I'll just send 99 cents. Let's see.
It could be also depending on the connection you may have, or a card issue. Maybe you just have to reapply it or something. I don't know. It's super weird, man.
Yeah,
there really
definitely.
is no
All right, mine's
solution.
sent, but yeah, again, we have Cash App, we have Streamlab. I just sent it to myself to check, but yeah. Continuing on here, the Lightning in Atlanta.
We got a $1 donation. Damn.
Oh wow, dude, great, appreciate it, man.
Yo, the homie.
Lightning in Avatar is cool, but also a massive speed outlier for the series. It's a good point. But then again, if we want to be pedantic, Zuko did get in front of Lightning when his sister tried to attack Katara at the end of Avatar, and he was fast enough to get in front of it and intercept it. So not that.
And maybe
fast.
their lightning isn't as fast as ours.
Yeah. So I want to call it an outlier, but yeah, it is really fast though, regardless. What if the phone wasn't invented in 07? If it wasn't invented, I'm sure computers would have been, let's say in an alternate universe, they weren't invented. Computers would have more quickly developed forms of communication. You know, there would have probably been some sort of alternative phone through the computer. In a certain way, one way or the other, there would have been communication advancement for sure, even if it wasn't an iPhone.
At least from another competitor or something, because they already had the iTouch, which is basically an iPhone.
Exactly.
You know, it was still during that iPod stage, but you know what I mean, it was quickly getting there, so it would have been inevitable.
If anything,
regardless.
Android would be the biggest phone company in the world right now. Not iPhone, Apple. You know, so people that try to wank older civilizations as being utopias that only fell due to men growing weaker and try and tie that into men being weak in modern society are really stupid. Yeah, first of all, it's hard to prove that, and that's most likely not the case. And utopias, would certainly be discovered by now. So I do think that's a weak argument. I don't know. Humanity when it was really new might have been wiped out by dinosaurs. To be honest, possibly. That's when we were more, we were inferior. But over time, humans would evolve to combating dinosaurs through intelligence. So that's what would happen. But yeah, folks, be sure to keep asking questions. Any questions at all? We enjoy the non-anime questions as well. Clearly, so very good questions so far. We'll go for quite a bit longer. We'll hit the 3-hour mark, so we got quite some time. Any questions at all? And by the way, one more time, if you guys can't donate through Super Chat for whatever, we do in the description have a Streamlab and a Cash App as well. So I know YouTube gives issues sometimes with that for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's all good though. Thank you guys for trying it anyways though.
Yeah, either way, I appreciate you trying though. Appreciate the support for sure. Let's see though, any questions you might have though, folks. But while you guys ask questions, we'll take a turn here on topics and discuss what I've seen recently myself. Jon Jones and the Tyson Fury, beef, if you will. So Tyson Fury tries to iterate that he would beat the hell out of Jon Jones, and then Jon Jones puts him in his place and says, hey, if it's not in the ring, I'll fucking kill you. And then Fury kind of pseudo concedes and says, yeah, obviously I'm a boxer. So it kind of eliminates the point of him being the baddest man on the planet. Obviously I agree with Jon. Jon would maul him in a real fight, let alone, MMA. That's why the term baddest man on the planet certainly should go to the guy that can win in a real fight, which is Jon Jones. Jon is extremely proficient in many realms of, combat sports disciplines. So he's certainly
the man's a beast, bro.
Yeah, he would beat the fuck out of Fury, choke him out, maul him,
wrestle him down.
Him down. Obviously, in boxing, Fury would outpoint him, obviously, but
yeah,
he's the best boxer on the planet, arguably. Him, I would say the best boxers on the planet currently. Him, Canelo, maybe Bud Crawford. Those guys are the best right now in the world. So, but on the streets, come on, Jon would fucking kill him. So.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. There's no rules there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What if Europeans?
He has a variety of arsenal options to
Yeah,
do
so many
too.
things.
So
He could pick his poison.
Fury is a huge man, though.
Oh, he's
I
a
will
big
say.
guy. Big guy.
He's a
But
big, he's a big
honestly,
guy
I'm
for sure.
pretty sure John is still physically more stronger than him. I'm pretty sure about that. Like physically strong.
Yeah.
Fury's big though, certainly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
What if Europeans met Neanderthals instead of Native Americans? They'd just further have their way. Neanderthals are less intellectually capable.
Cognitive.
Yeah, they would make them do what they want even easier. Europeans coming to the North America, it'd just be an easier conquest of anything.
Yeah, it's like fighting off against people with bow and arrows, and as opposed to someone with like rocks and club sticks.
Be
You know,
easy.
like
It'd be even easier to conquer.
the plague would still spread super easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zuko also reacts to it earlier, but then struggles to dodge normal weapons being swung by people with scale below lightning. Yeah, it's inconsistencies that are inevitable due to limitations of, media, creativity. You can't be logically consistent on everything in anime and hope to have a convenient and polarizing story. So.
At least it's not an obvious inconsistency, though.
Obvious.
Like it plays a part nonetheless. But I do agree when you do analyze it. Of course, it's a little odd, right?
In most animes, you're gonna find weird stuff that are inconsistent. It's impossible not to have some. So it's imperfect. Stories are imperfect at the end of the day, but they're insignificant imperfections. So.
Krillin and Goku, bro, like that was a little.
That's blatantly.
That was obviously,
that was bullshit. I don't know what that was. Like that's like I know you're trying to show some respect to Krillin, but come on, it's absolutely insane. I'm gonna be out, guys. Take care. Thanks for coming in, Luis.
Later, brother. Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah. Are there any questions you folks may have, for free to ask? Any at all? Sports, law, politics, anime, morality.
Oh, who do you think is going to the finals, Jay? It's crazy right now, bro.
Jokic is looking extremely dominant. Jokic, he's looking.
You trust Devils off rip?
Very dominant. Davis is not doing too well against him, but then again, Jokic is hitting most shots from three. I don't know how you stop that. So.
And Jamal went sav mode in the fourth quarter too. Holy shit, man!
You weren't really stopping either of those guys. I just think the
Celtics look.
The Celtics.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I know.
They look sad right now, bro.
Yeah, Tatum had a horrible game. He had like 3 points in I think game 2 or something like that. It was horrible.
So many turnovers as well.
Yeah, tons of them. I think the Heat win against the Celtics. And right now, I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards Denver right now, obviously. But
I don't blame you, bro. It's crazy because the Warriors were down 0-2 and they came out.
Sure.
So who knows what the Lakers can do
never
right
know,
now?
Man. It's LeBron.
They're better than the Warriors, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. You never know. But the Lakers just lost today too. They're down 3. They'd have to win 4 straight. So,
they lost today too.
Yeah,
oh no! Bro, no way.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, dude.
More than likely they're not making it. But
Absolutely,
there's a
dude.
slim chance that if LeBron goes off, he's older now, man. So he doesn't have that in the tank like he used to.
This is his last chance, in my opinion, man. Unless they do some, what can they do now? Honestly,
he's getting older. He's just his productivity will just keep going down. He's getting old. Father Time beats them all. So.
0-3 is a bad luck, bro. Like you do not want to get swept, bro. Come on.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully they win 1 at least. I don't know. Let's see. Zuko also reacts to it earlier, but then struggles to dodge. I just read that. Could Invincible solo MHA, My Hero Academia? I know Invincible.
Could who solo?
Yeah, could he solo My Hero Academia? Invincible is really powerful.
Zuko?
No, Invincible. That one, I think it's the super. He's like a Superman from another verse, kind of.
Oh, got you. Okay. Yeah, I'm not quite sure who that is.
Yeah, I think
MHA really isn't that strong, man. To be honest,
I hear that My Hero Academia is not that powerful, so I'm assuming Invincible could.
All Might's country level, maximum, dude. I don't know, his fist was enough to create a tornado, but it's dude, it's not even city level at that point. I don't know, bro. It's not even that impressive in my opinion for what I've seen.
Yeah.
But the story's dope. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming Invincible. I don't know that much about Invincible, but I'm assuming he'd win. He seems really powerful. like board.
Yeah,
At
definitely.
least,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least planetary. So, let's see. One way to argue for Zuko's speed not being consistent is to claim that lightning is slower than lightning in the real world. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, folks. Any questions you might have?
Yeah,
To
that's
ask?
what I was saying. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, given the inconsistency. Let's see. Any questions at all? But yeah, the John Jones and Tyson Fury beef is certainly interesting. I would like to see them fight, but in either discipline, one would slam the other. I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah, they're just too skilled in their world though. So
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, it would take a lot of preparation to even have that fight take place.
And Francis Ngannou signed to the PFL, which is ass, but
I
he's
saw
getting
that.
what he wants. He's getting the money. And apparently he wanted every opponent of his to get millions guaranteed. So every opponent he faces will get at least 2 million guaranteed. I guess that's nice of him. And he also got bureaucratic power. He's like one of the lead people and some part of the sub-Saharan Africa part of the PFL. So that's cool. He's like on the member board or something like that. That's pretty cool for him.
He's trying to get money, bro.
But honestly,
Literally.
I couldn't even name 3 fighters in the PFL. I don't know who the
Oh,
fuck.
I don't even know what that is, dude. Yeah, facts.
I don't know shit about the PFL. Those pay-per-views are gonna do abysmal. Obviously,
It's a bargain league, bro.
Yeah. One plus is that they do let him box. Like they're gonna let him box. It's not Dana White who doesn't let you do shit. So he might fight Tyson Fury still, or Wilder, or Joshua, or something. So I definitely would like to see that. Obviously he loses to any of those guys still, but I'd still like to see it. His power is an equalizer, so.
Reaction to the John Jones.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was interesting.
PEDs.
Yeah. By the way, folks, thinking about becoming a member, I do a lot of different content there. I dropped a video about John Jones' PED situation, and when Derek from More Place More Dates, where you guys are into that, I was on Rogan's. I reacted to that. I get my thoughts on that. Yeah, John Jones has a very peculiar case, and his case is new to that scientific field, clearly, which is why USADA changed their policies. So, in fact, if the policies of today were to stand back then, he would never have tested positive. It would be clean.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's just speculation concerning, like, did he take something like Barry Bonds, the clear, something that isn't really detectable at that certain time. That's just all, that's just speculation. So.
Yeah, that's what Derek, was trying to give theories, but he even admitted, it's not provable, but it's my theory.
Testosterone thing was weird, though.
Yeah, that was
especially for a man his size.
Yeah, that's probably the most contentious part. That was bizarre. That implies some sort of maybe intentional alteration. So that was bizarre to me. But John's he's not back in his day, like I said on the video. He's not the smartest guy. He wasn't operating with the utmost intelligence, like as far as how to live his life. He was just living life. He was a god in New Mexico, partying, getting fucking shit faced. Like he didn't give a shit.
Yeah, that man was all over the place. He had all kinds of shit going on.
And my cousin was a physical. I think he was a therapist in the gym. He got banned from a while ago. Jackson Wink, and he hung out with John before. He said John's that guy was fucking crazy, man, in his day.
Oh, absolutely.
Shit-faced.
I just remember always hearing him getting arrested or some drug issues or something.
He went to the bar with John, and John's just fucking getting shit-faced. Like, John was not trying to look, watch what he's inhaling or watch what he's consuming. He didn't give a shit. And clearly, you're going to do some dumb shit if you're around drugs and stuff. So, John was just dumb.
Hey, but then again, when you're the GOAT, do you even have a reason to
still
give
never
a
lost. Still never lost. Yeah. He's an outlier.
That's like Tom Brady. It's like Tom Brady, being like the best of the best, right? And then like for him to fuck around and do stupid shit, but yet he can still come back and just smoke everybody.
Yeah, John is just
pretty much, man.
Yeah, John is the greatest. I mean, even being a dumbass in his 20s, he still dominated. So, I mean,
the guy.
The guy still beats one of the greatest light heavyweights ever in Alexander Gustafsson after getting shit faced. And I don't think people realize how good Gustafsson was. That guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, he used to whip. I hear stories. I used to whip heavyweights' asses in sparring, beat the fuck out of them, and he still.
Him and DC was great too.
Yeah, he still lost to John Jones after getting fucking shit faced the week before. That's how good John is.
Be like that.
John is the greatest, man. He's a dumbass. He was a dumbass outside of the ring, but dude, inside that octagon, he's the greatest. It's not even close. So, Even Dana White admits. He's like,
Sometimes, so a socially accepted unorthodox mind is what it takes to create these brilliant minds in
oh,
the first
dude.
place.
Yeah.
It's just a weird reality of
When
things,
you have like
but
these like ridiculous winners like John or Michael Jordan, they have their own demons. Jordan with gambling, John with fucking drugs, Tiger Woods with fucking cheating
Tiger
on his
Woods,
wife.
yeah.
Like, dude, these guys are like the most hyper successful winners you can think of. Or Steve Jobs being a fucking deadbeat dad. Like, dude, the hyper successful.
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson. Like, dude.
Yo.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Dwayne Johnson abusing his son Kevin Hart.
Yeah, like it's.
Oh Lord.
When you try to study the mind of these guys, they have their own demons for sure. Yeah. Wasn't John Jones a goated boxer? Was also a piece of shit. A goated UFC fighter. Yeah, he was a piece of shit in real life. Yeah. At one point, he was a real big.
Well, like he beat his wife too, right?
Yeah, I think he's making amends because they're back together again and they got re-engaged, which is good for John. I think, yeah.
Dana White almost got canceled.
Oh, dude, Dana White's stupid ass slapping his wife, dude. Come on, man.
Yo, it's just hilarious, dude.
I didn't even know. Wait, legit? That actually happened?
Legit, right?
Yeah.
And with cameras, yeah.
His stupid ass like slapped. I mean, to be fair, she slapped him first, but dude, come on. Yeah, like what the fuck are you doing?
I mean,
oh, okay. So he didn't like feeling embarrassed in front of everyone.
Yeah, he slapped the shit out of her. I was like, dude, come on.
Damn, bro.
Relax.
He didn't want to get bitched. That's why.
No.
He didn't want to feel like a bitch.
Yeah, Dana White's like very like his demeanor is very like dominant. Yeah, he doesn't like being.
Clearly, that was more important than his wife.
Yeah, clearly at that moment. He took it on the chin though. He didn't make any excuses.
In public.
Yeah, he didn't make any excuses for it though. He's like, yeah, I fucked up, man. I'm a fucking dumbass, and I deserve to be shat on for it. And it is what it is. So Dana took it like a man though. I'll give him that. So.
No. And it was probably just the heat of the moment. Like he didn't like actually probably even mean to. Like it just happened.
That's one of those things.
It happens.
For me, it's like, dude, that's not even a thought at all.
Yeah,
bro,
I would never.
No matter how fucking
I would never react that way.
shitty things get. Yeah, but hey, man, that's
of course,
you, bro.
Yeah, like people like us, like we could say that all day, every day, and I actually truly believe that from even myself too.
Yeah.
But like what I can say for people is like until like the moment happens, like sometimes like it just happens, like it's an instinct or you black out or whatever you name it. And
yeah.
It is what it
I've
is.
had
Like, it doesn't mean
I've never had a girl.
I've
never had a girl slap me, but I've had a girl been violent towards me. I didn't even think twice about ever hating her. I was like, fuck, I didn't even do anything. I just stood there. So.
I'll just remove myself, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Ain't getting this.
I'm just gonna leave. So, what do you think Adesanya's odds against Pete John? Dude, John Jones would fucking maul Adesanya.
Adesanya? Yeah, unfortunately, man.
Yeah.
He's way too beefy.
If Adesanya could theoretically keep him at bay, which I don't think is possible, John's too strong. Like, look what Jan Blachowicz did to him. He couldn't keep him off him. He's too big, too strong. John is a better wrestler than Jan, a better striker than Jan, more intelligent than Jan, and look what Jan did to him. So he would get fucking mauled by John. John would fucking maul him, man. Especially now. He's stronger, bigger.
It's not a conversation anymore. Nobody can fuck with him, bro.
Nah, he's a goat. I mean,
Like,
look what he
nobody
did to
can
him.
do it.
guy.
He did
Not a
this to
single
a
person.
guy recently, the last fight John Jones had. He mauled a guy that's 6'5", 6'4", 260 plus pounds. Well, imagine what he would do to Izzy, who's 195. Fucking maul him. Fuck him up.
If they were equal weight, though, that'd be
yeah, if they were
interesting,
equal
though.
weight, that would be interesting. That would be interesting because at that point,
Yeah, certainly.
Adesanya could like compete strength wise. The weight's there. His takedown defense is very good, by the way.
Really good. Absolutely.
Look what he did against Derek Brunson. Like
Usman.
Brunson's probably the best wrestler
yeah.
in the division. So John would have a tough time.
Gassing him. Yeah, dude.
Gastelum. Vittori, he fought him twice. Whitaker.
He's
Yeah.
exceptional, man.
Like
Mhm.
at that way, he can hold his own strength wise. But someone like
Ooh,
John,
how about this?
John's too big.
Thoughts
man.
on UFC 291, man? That's gonna be a dope ass card,
Dude,
bro.
That's the best
Holy
card.
shit.
Long time.
Holy shit,
I
man.
cannot wait for that. Maybe we should all watch that
bro.
one. That one's gonna be fucking good.
Oh, we
Yeah.
got to, man.
It's
Yeah.
looking at it again. So it's 291. Poirier versus Gaethje, first of all, man.
Of course,
That's
of
gonna be a
course.
fucking
Yep.
dude. That's gonna be probably one of the best fights, if not the best fight of the year, easily. Then we have Alex Pereira fighting at fucking light heavyweight. Dude, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I
What the
know,
fuck?
dude. We got Pereira again, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
and he's fighting the guy that beat Izzy at that weight. He's fighting Yan. Damn, dude. He just wants to make a statement. I guarantee he's doing this because he wants to fuck up Yan and then call out Adesanya and said, hey, bitch, I just fucked this motherfucker up and he mauled your ass for fucking 5 rounds.
Literally.
Yeah.
Come up here. I'm going to whip your ass again. That's probably what he's going to do.
Dude, that card is stacked,
Dude, they
bro.
got
Let
Tony.
me tell you, man.
Tony's fighting Bobby Green.
Ferguson.
Dude.
Yep.
They got Costa fighting this Russian monster. That's going to be fucking amazing. Derek Lewis on the fucking prelim. Come on, dude.
And Kevin Holland.
Holland, dude. Oh my god, dude.
Yo.
I think every
come
fight
on,
is
man.
worth watching to me here. Pereira versus Thompson versus Stephen Thompson. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know who those guys are, to be honest.
Wonder Boy is basically like a poor man's version of Adesanya, but he's still pretty good. Like his strike is really good. Yeah. He used to compete with when what's his name was still champ back in the day, Woodley. Like him and Woodley were the best in the world at one point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be really fucking good though. We can't wait for that card. And then another card, I think it's before or after. It's Colby versus Edwards, dude. Oh my god, Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards, man. Fuck, I can't wait to see that one. That's gonna be a fucking fight, man. I know Colby's gonna talk a lot of shit. I'm looking forward to that, man. Dude, he runs his mouth. Edwards doesn't give a fuck though. Edwards like whatever. Doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, he's just very like oh fuck him, like actions.
He's gonna be, okay, I'll see you in the octagon. I don't think he's gonna get to Edwards. I doubt it. Edwards doesn't really give a shit. When he fought Usman, he got in Usman's head a little bit, but Edwards doesn't give a shit though. He's like whatever. So
Yeah, fuck it.
yeah,
Edwards is dope, man. I like
No,
his
no, the way
personality
you
a
look
lot.
at it, there's really no point even talking shit. Like just doing
when you're
it
the
by
champ,
action.
nah,
You know what I
there's
mean?
no point.
Yeah.
Like I'm the man.
And
No
Usman's
point.
fighting
Just
who
prove it
again?
through, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Prove it through your actions.
It's gonna be
That's
Leon
it,
Edwards
simple.
versus Colby Covington.
Oh, yeah. But Usman's fighting someone
Oh yeah,
soon,
yeah,
right?
He's they've been hinting Kamzat, but I don't know if that's true.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, dude. That's going to
Dude,
be
if
dope,
he
man.
fucking fights that monster, fuck man.
And wins?
And he
Bruh.
wins, dude, he's gonna need an immediate
Bruh.
rematch against Edwards.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Kamzat wins. Oh fuck, dude, he's the next in line. They're probably gonna give it to Bilal Muhammad next first, but and then Kamzat.
Yeah, he
Bilal's
earned
won
it,
like
for
7
sure.
straight or something. But yeah. Who do you think could beat John? Ever? Dude, I don't know if anyone could beat that guy. Honestly, he's that good.
He's that guy.
Like, who could beat him in
Yeah.
his prime? I don't know. I don't know anyone. Maybe. I mean, he's
In both fights?
like, he's faced the best. Like he already faced Gustafsson, he beat him. He faced DC in his prime, he beat him. He faced who else has he faced? Like all these legends, Rashad, Rampage.
Rashad Evans. Yeah, exactly.
Faced all these fucking monsters, and he beat all of them. Slayed
Like
them all.
nobody, like
Yeah,
they just slammed him like no
Yeah.
diff too. It
Dude,
wasn't
like,
even
he's-
hard.
I don't know who would beat John. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know who would beat him in his prime, man. He's the best.
Like if he starts to like get into like the age
Yeah, if he gets
era, you know,
old,
where he starts
yeah.
getting rusty and all that,
Yeah.
then yeah, obviously somebody probably would eventually take it. But that's a no given. That's
Yeah,
just,
he's at the
unfortunate.
pinnacle. It's like asking who would beat Floyd in his
But-
prime. Like I don't know who would beat
Yeah,
Floyd.
but like if it's prime, bro, it's like no,
Yeah.
like it's just
In boxing, maybe there's a better argument. Like if someone asked me who would beat Mayweather, there's arguments. Maybe if someone like Sugar Ray Leonard would give him a good one, or
There go Ray.
Marvin
Yep.
Hagler, or someone like might give him a good one. But MMA, it's pretty cut and clear. Like who's the best? John's the best. I mean, I don't know.
simple.
Simple as that. Maybe Khabib if he was 250 pounds, but he's not. Maybe he'd
Yeah,
maul him.
that would be sick.
That'd be
man.
sick,
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Unfortunately,
Oh
Khabib's
my
way
gosh.
too small, but yeah, he would just be like a fucking kid to John. But John Wick versus Hawkeye MCU. I've never really scaled John Wick before. Hawkeye.
I probably lost to a snow plow
I'm
machine,
probably gonna
dude.
go with Hawkeye because Hawkeye's over here fighting like some superhuman fictional
Yeah,
fucking robots
pretty
and shit.
much.
You know all this shit. Like while John Wick, don't get me wrong, he's a fucking monster. He's a badass, but he's only like to the realism of things. He's
Yeah,
a peak
it's
of like
more realistic.
reality, not like fictional shit.
Yeah, Hawkeye. There's more arguments for him like being beyond superhuman.
Yeah,
and
he's
stuff.
gonna be more faster, more stronger. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just he's just
Probably
gonna shit on
Hawkeye,
him.
and especially MCU. Yeah, Agent 47 versus Batman. I know who Agent 47 is, but I don't know that much about him, so I'm gonna say Batman. So.
Batman's
Yeah, I
omnipotent, bro.
Yeah, I
don't.
mean, if
I
Batman could
don't know
fucking
shit about Agent.
beat Superman, then I'm pretty sure he'd beat Agent
Not
47.
only that, like, bro, the first problem is the guy has agent in his name. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Batman's most
Come
definitely
on.
beating Agent.
Batman's
Come on.
scales.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scales above agents for sure. John Jones
Batman's
versus
Agent Infinity, dude.
yeah, the best agent. John Jones versus
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
Like, unless you're
Well,
SpongeBob, you're not beating Batman.
oh yeah,
so.
unless you're like omnipotent, you're not beating him. John Jones versus Muhammad Ali. Well, boxing, obviously Ali would fuck him up, but anything else, John fucking slams him on his ass. Gets leg kicked once, he's fucking on the ground, getting fucking choked out. So.
Abused, bro. It's
He would
abuse.
get abused. I remember Ali for fun exhibition. Well, I don't remember. I wasn't alive, but I remember seeing a video of Ali in an exhibition match fighting a kickboxer, and he got his leg fucked up. Like they were not fighting for real, but they were throwing, and he was getting his leg fucking eaten up by the kickboxer. Imagine him against John Jones, man. Fuck. Yeah, no, man. That would not end well. Boxers are not used to leg kicks, man. Leg kicks, there's something different, man. When you get kicked in the leg, shin to thigh or shin to calf, it's a new kind of experience, man. So he would get fucked up. However John wants. Except obviously boxing, but anything besides that, he's done. So, yeah, folks, feel free to keep asking any questions. Obviously, as you can tell, we're big fans of combat sports as well. Yeah, Batman versus Squirrel Girl. I've heard of Squirrel Girl.
Right.
I don't know what she's accomplished.
She's like a fodder entity, but like the only time where she becomes like kind of like omnipotent or like basically invincible in a sense is when the writer wants to give her like broken writing to where she could literally just beat anybody. Like,
Oh damn!
I
guess
forgot
like,
what her power is,
yeah.
but it's like it's a weird ass like plot power type thing where like if she just has that, then she could literally just do it anyone. It doesn't matter who it is.
Probably
Thanos, she just beats them.
Yeah, the strongest plot amped Squirrel Girl iteration.
Like she's a meme. Like she's dead ass a troll character. Like dead ass. Like
I'm guessing like her most broken iteration probably beats him, but besides that, probably not. Yeah. But yeah, folks.
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I've heard of her before.
But she was dead ass designed to be just a fucking troll. Yeah, like because at first like I was always hearing a lot, and I was always hearing like she's like a meme or some weird shit, and then I looked more into her, and basically she's just some fodder bitch. But once her power activates, like when it's convenient for the writing, like she's just broken. Like nobody can fuck with her.
One guy, going back to the John question, there might be a guy I can think of that might beat him, and he probably wouldn't. It'd probably be a heavyweight great, someone like Cain Velasquez, maybe someone like that. Like his cardio is so ridiculous that I don't know. The thing is, I don't think he's as good a wrestler as John. Even if he won't get tired, that's a problem. He might maybe prime Stipe. I don't know, man. Even those guys, I don't think, but that would be like the best chance. Someone big, strong, doesn't get tired.
It's reasonable,
yeah, someone like that would have the best odds. But even then, I still think they'd lose, to be honest. Because honestly, there's plenty of stories of John Jones fucking up heavyweights. He's been doing it his whole career.
Yeah.
There's stories where guys, I'm talking great heavyweights like, I forgot his name, Arlovsky, guys like that, big, good, like world class, always getting their fucking ass stomped.
Oh yeah,
he's that good. Now, and that was when he was light heavyweight, by the way. He wasn't even as big as he is now. Man, like, nah, dude, he's that guy.
Yeah, long ass career, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah, really long career. He has so many fights. The Naruto versus lowballing. In VSBW is legendarily bad versus Wiki. I think even people in the forums had to debate with the mods. I think Seth the pedo had a problem with someone's scale. Actually, no, I think that was Dragon Ball actually, and he actually caused one of the mods to change scaling for Goku or something like that. That was Seth the pedo back in the day. The mods get the God tier to tiers of the verse to Moon plus an AP and durability. Damn. Infinite Zamazu versus Jiren.
Ooh, it's a good one.
It's a good one. Infinite Zamazu becomes like a concept in the multiverse, but
yeah, he can exactly. Yeah.
It's an interesting question though.
Man, it's universal. I mean, you can literally like mold with the universe itself and harness its power. It took Xeno to take him out, so
yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Jimmy's not on that par.
Yeah, I don't think
But
so.
he is
Yeah.
like at least infinite shaking,
Yeah.
like an infiniteless void too. So it's a hard question,
It's a hard
man.
question. Yeah. Probably Infinite Samazu if it takes someone like Zeno. I don't know, man. That's an interesting question, though.
That is a great question, though.
Yeah.
Actually, thinking about it, yeah.
Brock Lesnar in his prime versus John Jones. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's ass compared to John. The best person he beat was Frank Mir when he won the belt. Frank Mir, I'm not no disrespect to Frank, but he's no John Jones. John Jones is a fucking maul.
No,
Maul him, dude.
Frank Mir was sick though back in the
Yeah, he's a
day for
legend
sure.
regardless, but John would still whip his ass on all the roids, man. Take all the roids you want. John will still fuck you up. He's not beating John, man. He'd probably out wrestle Brock, to be honest. Still, by the way.
CM Punk versus John Jones.
Oh, dude, I remember when I saw that.
Yeah.
When I saw CM Punk fight, I was like, "Are you serious?" He looked like dog
Bro.
shit. He looked like dog shit against somebody.
Literally felt bad for the guy, dude.
Yeah, he fought a guy that was like 0-1. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? So ass. I think Dana White was so disgusted by the fight, he cut both those guys. Not just CM Punk. He got the other guy too, even though he won. It's like, fuck this shit. These guys are fired. Fuck that.
Dude, that's yeah.
pathetic.
I'm surprised he got another fight after that,
Dude,
man.
he
Like,
was so
that's
ass.
horrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
That just shows that, yeah, WWE athletes should be respected. But, dude, it's a whole different game when you're actually fighting somebody. It's not a fucking game.
I think he just want to get his ass beat, bro. I think he has some masochist vibes in there, bro.
Dude, honestly, I think it's low key for a promotion. Like, he's like, watch this. I'm gonna go to fucking I'm gonna go to UFC and whip some ass. I'm the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like, dude, shut the fuck up. You got your ass whipped by a fucking 0-1 fighter. Get the fuck out of here. That was ass. He looked like dog shit, sloppy. So, let's see. I know Infinite Zamazu probably stomps. Yeah, he's like a concept at this point. He's not even really a fucking singular entity.
Yeah.
Although, as Seth the programmer pointed out, what the hell Goku even meant with this statement is a heavily debated topic to this day. Oh, you're talking about that one specific video? Yeah. So Seth the pedo pointed that out, yeah. Like, he's a bit weaker than Jiren, but Jiren can't physically harm him. That's the problem, yeah. He's like a concept at this point. He's not even like a single combatant. How would he even hurt him? He's in multiple verses or whatever. So, yeah, folks, we'll go a little bit longer unless someone donates. We'll stay longer. Really good stream so far, though. Really good topics. W stream.
Super fresh, man. No, great questions.
Really good questions.
I enjoyed the moral realism in our
Yeah,
collection.
that was a great question. Yeah.
Those are great, yeah.
By the way, feel free to ask more of those, folks. Those are actually really good tangents, by the way. I'm probably going to make that a short where we all discuss that. It was actually a really good tangent there.
Fire, dude. Yeah.
That was fire. More realism. More realism is a mostly disregarded ideology, but rightfully so, in my opinion. But see though, folks. Any questions you folks may have, feel free. Combat sports, anime, whatever it may be. But yeah, UFC, some great cards coming. Great cards.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm excited. It's late July, so we got some time.
Yeah.
Also, I'm interested to see how summer's going to treat the off season for NBA too. There's going to be a lot of changes happening.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. After this,
all these coaches being fired. James Harden going away.
Doc
so
Rivers,
much. So.
Man. Yeah, dude.
Yep, Monty, Doc, and Mike Budenholzer. Yep, they're all fired.
All gone. Yeah. They just had a lot of moments where they almost made it and they would fall short. They're just tired of that. So, yeah.
You can't blame the Suns coach, though, in my opinion, bro. Like that team, so very heavy driven on their core 3 players, and you need a team. You need more than just 3 people. You need a solid bench. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Suns are relatively green and stuff. Durant didn't play up to expectation either, but I don't know. Yeah, the Suns are new. It's not like they've been around a long time. Well, that team specifically, but
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Let's see.
Look how good the Lakers are doing. They're pretty much a newly orchestrated team. I mean, they are 0-3 right now, but still.
Oh, Alexa's in here. I'm a better fighter than Jay.
Oh.
Is that so?
Damn. The Royal Rumble.
Let's see. Thoughts on philosophical pessimism? It's a good question. Pessimism in general, I think a lot of it tends to catapult on the idea that well, the presupposition that nothing can truly be proven, the idea that the actual purpose for life can never actually be proven objectively, and that the truth value can never be objectively established as true to what the purpose of humanity is. I just think that it's very cliche to say, but a very half-empty sort of ideology. There's no real, well, you could argue against me and say that the purpose of a philosophy is not for, how to operate in life, but there's no real sort of benefit to having a pessimistic viewpoint. If anything, it
Nah.
sets you up empirically for much less success. I just don't agree with it. I'm more of a realist. I'm not certainly not an optimist by any means, but I'm certainly not a pessimist either. I'm more of a realist. I'm not a moral realist. Don't get it wrong. I'm certainly not a moral realist. That's bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm certainly not a pessimist. I think that there's times where you have to go beyond statistical probability when operating in life, especially when you want to do something difficult to be successful. You gotta look beyond statistical probability, because if we solely depend our operation in life on statistical probability, then we would never take a risk, because the statistical probability of success for difficult things are always low. The odds are against you at the beginning, but there's always this arbitrary level of improvement that you can achieve until eventually, theoretically, you reach a statistical probability of very high rate of success, and that's when you tend to see change in your life. So being a pessimist sets you up for inevitable failure. It's inevitable. Their ideology is, why take the chance if the chance of success is statistically insignificant? Well, my counter to that would be, would you rather say what if, or say, hey, at least I tried? That's the way I look at it. I think it's very, very illogical to say I'd rather not try, because there's just there's very, very good chance I'll never make it. I think that's a way out.
You're refuting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're refusing to take part in your potential by just having a pessimistic ideology about things. Like, sure, shit happens, but it's kind of needed to and still install growth. Like it would be boring if life was perfect and grandeur and there was no challenges.
Yeah.
There would be no uniqueness and individuality amongst folks. It's these obstacles and imperfections that define us from our very core.
Yeah.
And like, if you allow like these obstacles to take hold of like your path of progression, I mean, that's just going to be your conscientious choice at the end of the day. But like, it's like Jay's saying, it's a lot better to just be realistic. Like, dude, shit happens. Like, just take it for what it is, move on, and grow from it, and don't allow it to happen again in your life.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. It's not a curse, dude.
Yeah, I would say pessimism. It depends what the intention of the philosophy is. It depends on the proposition we're discussing. If the proposition is, what is the best philosophy to have to operate in life, pessimism certainly isn't on the top of that list. If the proposition in question and the truth value in question is, what philosophy gives us the best, is the most pedantic and I guess technically the most correct as far as statistical probability, I guess pessimism will be quite high, because if you're being technical, I think the statistical probability of success in most difficult things is low, and pessimism is correct on that. And I think other philosophies don't contradict that or say that's incorrect, but I just think pessimism is not a pragmatic sort of philosophy to have. It's really not.
Certainly, it's not healthy at all, man.
Not healthy.
It's
not healthy.
Yeah, no, it's gonna get you depressed real quick, man, for sure.
Because inevitably, despite entities of academia trying to maintain professionalism and a sort of stoicism where their emotions aren't involved, eventually your emotions will become involved. You can't avoid it. We're all
Exactly.
humans, So even Jordan Peterson or Ben Shapiro have emotion, whether it might not seem that way, but they do. Tate might.
That's what makes us human, man.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Yeah.
There's no way to avoid that, and it'd be disingenuous to try to suggest that you can. You can't. So, let's see. It was stated that Jiren is more powerful, and Goku was convinced he could beat Samazu if he had more energy. Well, Goku saying that he feels like he could doesn't necessarily establish truth value, right? It doesn't necessarily prove that he would. And if it takes someone like Zeno, if Zeno was the individual to do it, what is Toriyama trying to imply with that? If it took Zeno himself to undo this, right? So it's definitely contentious. But either way, Jiren versus Infinite Zamasu is very interesting. So, let's see. It's a philosophical breakdown about it and its history with humanity. Yeah. But I would say pick your philosophical breakdown wisely. So, alright there, folks. We'll go for a little while longer, folks. Whatever questions you may have. Whether it's morality again, anime, politics, whatever it may be, folks. Enjoy the discussions for sure.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah.
Super refreshing for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we just tend to try to keep things, with high variety. We like having more than just anime. Anime is great, obviously. It's our forte, but all realms of topics are welcomed here. So
Always welcomed, yeah.
yeah, that's how we try to stand out, and we just thoroughly enjoy it, regardless. So, any questions though, folks? But yeah, like we were saying, UFC certainly a very interesting, it's a very exciting time for the UFC. The NFL is going to start in a couple months.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be interesting as well with the draft. And actually, interesting note, a story that I gave a long time ago about a individual at San Diego State that I knew personally, where he was accused of some bad stuff like raping somebody, and now it came out that he was never even there. There's evidence that he was never even there, and I'm really hoping that the person that lied about this pays for what they did, because Matt is his name, Matt Ariza. He's a good dude, man. I knew him personally, great dude, hell of a punter. I mean, he's the best punter in the last 20 years. Called a punk god for a reason. Went to the Buffalo Bills. I just hope he gets what he deserves, man. He deserves to be on an NFL team, and I think that's bullshit that whoever that dumb hoe was should pay for what she did. She should be incarcerated for that bullshit. Almost ruining his
yeah, that's ruining a man's career.
Yeah.
Damn near.
He's a good dude, man. He really is, and I knew that was bullshit from the start. As soon as I heard that, I was like, it's cap. No way. That's cap.
Blatant cap, bro.
And he wasn't even there. Like, what the fuck is this bitch lying about him? He wasn't even fucking present. It's bullshit, man. So
yeah, I feel you, dog.
I hope he at least gets a chance, man. I get signed. I know he's a punter, so it's harder to, get signed as a free agent. But I hope he gets it. I mean, he's a hell of a talent. So hell of a talent. The guy can kick from the 20-yard line. He can damn near kick a punt to the fucking end, the end.
Yeah,
that's how good he is as a opponent.
Kickers are they're a very hard position though. For sure, it's odd that they're so stubborn on their pieces, even though they're fucking shitty.
Yeah.
And ruin games. I think kicking in general is a weird incorporation of football altogether, because they can really decide a game, dude.
Yeah.
But
a field goal.
That's a whole other tangent.
Yeah. Field goal and all that. Yeah, definitely. It is a little strange for sure. I guess
these guys bust their ass, collide upon each other,
yeah, exactly.
Just for someone just to kick and not have to tackle the whole day. Just
yeah.
Just do a simple kick and win the game for them. It's damn, bro.
Yeah, you bust your ass to the 10-yard line and the fucking kicker misses the fucking field goal. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Exactly, bro.
Fucking bullshit, man.
The guilt. Yeah, bro.
All the pressure's on. Definitely. When you're kicking a game-winning field goal, playoff-winning field goal. Damn,
you get fired the next day, bro.
Your ass is gone if you miss.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Kaputs. Yeah.
You had one goal, dude.
Yeah. You had one job, literally.
One job. That's all you had to do. Yeah, that is kind of weird to have kicking and shit in there, but yeah, folks, any questions at all? We'll go a little longer here. And one more time, make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. Greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for coming in.
For sure, yeah. And as far as our news from us, we're gonna definitely drop more content. Me and Shinobi are planning on doing next couple of weeks, or maybe in the month or so, doing Itachi versus Pain, an in-depth analysis. I know I did it a long time ago, but I feel like I could do better. So we got to bring you guys a very very in-depth analysis on that, as in-depth as we can get.
You guys are gonna be bringing all your ammo into that.
Yeah, definitely. we got to. We'll probably debate it first, because we probably want to debate that and not give ammo to each other first, and then we'll make the video.
Sure,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's a better. Yeah, for sure.
But
we have a lot of cool concept videos coming out too.
Yeah,
Batman. We all of us.
Yeah,
so
all of us
yeah,
got content coming. The next video, the immediate video, is probably gonna be one by myself, and then we'll do me and Shinobi, and then it'll probably be all 3 of us again on something. And then I do eventually want to bring maybe a Dragon Ball video I gotta think of a concept.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I definitely gotta bring more of that.
That sounds dope, bro, for sure.
Maybe like
That's
a
pretty cool. Cool for
narrative
you to do a
analysis.
Dragon Ball video.
I did Black Frieza versus Gohan Beast, but clearly that's changed now that we're aware of the timeline.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I gotta bring a video on that. Maybe a narrative analysis or something. Yeah,
Could
definitely.
be Vegeta versus Gogeta, Buhan versus Kid Buu. There's so many different.
So many different
Dabura
stuff,
versus Cell. You know, there's a lot. So
You can even do who's stronger, Gogeta or Vegeta.
Oh, that's a good video.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's probably gonna take a ton of research. I gotta definitely want to give the most accurate conclusion I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. And eventually, I want to bring JJK as well. The JJK is too heat to not bring content on. So
Yeah.
Hey, y'all sleeping on Demon Slayer too, bro? That shit fire right now, bro.
I
see
heard
what
that's
I'll
good
do
too, yeah.
since I'm decent at it is make a Gojo ability explained video. I mean, that'd be heat. That would actually, but I'd actually bring in like mathematical concepts and stuff into the video. But
I can't wait for the new season, man. I just want to read the manga already.
I think they said we're like 45 days away or something like that. We're close.
Yeah.
Close.
And Bleach coming out too, so I'm
man.
like, all right,
We're gonna have to watch those, man. It's gonna be heat.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Bleach,
Guaranteed.
JJK, dude, that's heat.
Ichigo, run away.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Yeah. By the way, guys, follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I've been kind of trolling on Bleach and JJK and Kakashi recently as well.
Damn.
Yeah. I did shout out to Six though, because he's the one that started it. But I did one where it was Gojo and Goku, and I said, "Run! You're only town level, dude. You're gonna die." And yeah, people thought it was pretty cool. But Ichigo ones are funny though. When Six would do them, it's hilarious, man.
Oh yeah. Everybody gets so mad because they think he's being dead ass.
I did one with fucking One Piece. I was just fucking around. I was like talking about Luffy. I was like, "You're athlete level. Run, run." There was one
Run.
There was one where it was an edit of a manga panel, and it was fucking Naruto saying like, "Luffy, your ass. My son whipped your ass in base. Your fucking father." I was like,
"Damn."
But editing the video we did, what was funny was finding that fucking picture of Kakashi in bed. That shit was hilarious.
Oh, it was great.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
When I had to fucking troll on that part when we were talking shit about Kakashi. It was hilarious.
That was perfect. I even tagged Noodles on Twitter with that too.
A formation.
I was like, bro,
flannel too, dude.
What happened to your boy, bro?
I posted on Twitter about like the picture with fucking Kakazu.
Yeah, that's what I retweeted and then tagged him.
That's just so funny.
I was like, damn, what happened?
Like, your rudder really wasn't enough. You're dying. That's just hilarious, man. I'm sure Noodles probably saw that. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, those are hilarious. Six came up with a good idea with those. He's the one that started that. It's just hilarious. I need to do that. I actually have fun making those. But yeah, folks, follow us on Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter. Follow us, all of us on social media. We post dumb shit, trolling. Yeah, so. Or I'll be slamming people in the fucking Twitter section on debates. Like,
all about the good banter, bro.
Dude, where I slam the most people is on Facebook. I'm like slamming fucking retards on debate forums all the time.
I can just picture Jay taking the time to just slam people on Facebook.
Bruh.
There was one guy that said, I think I posted it. I posted it on our thing. Let me read it. It was on the hot takes thing on my server.
I can just picture a girl saying, well,
no, that's not cool. Like, reason why is because I really do believe, and that makes me feel.
And then Jared is that bitch. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. Fact to the fact.
There was one I posted. It was funny. Where was it? I posted one that this retard posted. Oh, it was a Bleach one, and the guy put in the caption, "I guess I highballed them a bit," and it has fucking eyes in that hill.
Oh yeah, Yamamoto.
The retard in the caption
Disrespect.
said, "I guess I highballed them a bit." I'm like, dude, you put fucking eyes in that hill level. What the fuck are you talking about, retard?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What? The motherfucker is cutting mountains. What do you mean?
He has fucking
Yamamoto at country,
he
I
has
think,
fucking,
right? Some stupid shit like that.
Island level.
Oh gosh.
I slammed him in the comments.
That's
like,
horrible.
You should stick to just watching the show, bud. That's what I told him.
You need some help, kid.
Stick to watching it. That's all. Please don't scale again, bro. Please.
Damn, I get it. Like Bleach, some Buddhists don't really like it like that. But damn, like that.
That is horrible. It's fucking terrible scaling, dude. What the fuck is that? Well, you gotta be joking. Now you're gonna say you highball them a bit. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that should.
That's wild.
That shit's hilarious, though. Yeah, the hot takes section is pretty funny. So, but yeah, folks, I think it's gonna wrap it up. If you guys have any final questions, feel free to ask here. Let's see, we'll give you guys a little second longer, and we'll depart. Yeah, this was definitely a good stream for sure, and
Always, man.
yeah, me and Shinobi Batman, by the way, we're talking about maybe we could do a call-in show in your server. I know there's more people there, and maybe someone will have the guts to challenge us on your server on the call-in show or something.
Oh, you're thinking of doing a call-in show on my server?
Yeah, maybe we could do that. If you wanted to set that up, and then fuck it. If someone wants to challenge us there, you can come in.
Yeah, it'll be fun, dude.
I'll be down for what's called. I have no idea how to set that shit up, but I'll figure it out.
It's not that hard. You just gotta make what's it called, a stage channel. That's it.
A prompt. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Is there a way to just like have you like with authority there too? Or?
Yeah. Basically, you set it up. You're the main guy, and then you just give me and Shinobi the moderator thing, and then.
Oh, so you can't be the main on my server either.
Yeah, but I think if we're moderator, we also could kick people out of the call.
Oh,
bring people in.
Yeah, I think we're mods already, right? So.
Yeah. And mine, you guys.
Oh yeah, no, you are. I just don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I feel like
I could show you how. It's pretty easy, but
I'm just being real, bro. My server's a little crazy. That's
why. We need to bring these guys
we need the action,
dog. When you do the call-in show, but get ready for some numbnuts.
We need some action. That's why. Yeah.
Some Peckerwoods. Yeah.
I'll be prepared that day.
You'll definitely get some spiciness there.
I'll just bring my philosophical razors, have them memorized, and okay, man. Let's get ready.
They're too lazy to come over to Jay's.
Dude,
too scared or too lazy? One of the two.
Damn.
They're probably too scared, to be honest. But
like they just won't fucking do it. They're cowards. And instead, they'll take the time to talk shit and be annoying and waste time and be little fucking insects, but actually not like do anything.
Actually talk to you. It's so
like,
annoying,
literally,
bro.
like they'll sit there and text all day and be talking.
Literally essays, bro. I'm like, bro, you're delusional. I don't got time for that.
Come to a voice chat. Come to a call-in show.
Yeah,
like
if we do that, we can take before we stream. We can take time to like mentally prepare. Like, all right, man, here we go.
Yeah.
We'll probably prep for that as far as like getting ready to slam people that.
Right, I can just picture it though. Fucking, we do the call-in show and then Yalis's bitch ass actually comes.
Oh my god.
He's like fixated on Jay. I don't know why.
Fucking weirdo.
Like weed, bro.
Oh my god.
He's like a dog like without a leash. Like the moment like he wants to like debate everybody and anybody just to like so he can feel like a king or something. That's why.
Nice.
See, I think that he left your server after all that shit happened, right? I think.
Yeah, no, he left.
Oh, he's done. Yeah.
Like he's joined back a couple times, but then he just leaves.
Yeah. So. See if he has the guts.
Hell yeah, dude.
If he has the guts to come in or not. But yeah, if they don't come to your server, they're definitely just ducking us.
Yeah, they're ducking tough, bro.
And most guys.
I'll even do a fucking announcement for it, but hey, like we're gonna do a call-in show on my server this time, and so if any of you fucking bitch ass losers that think you're better than Jay or whatever, blah blah, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I just want smoke, man. I've been
bringing all the little leeches.
Sometimes you just itch for it. To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Here's to hoping people don't tag in just to yell stupid shit. Hey, we'll be ready for that. I'm gonna have the mute button right there, dude. I'm not gonna
dude, we're gonna have the kick button ready in case there's
every time we allow someone in there, I'm gonna be right away. I'm gonna have the mute or kick button right there. So if they say dumb shit,
yes, sir.
Yeah, no, they'll be kicked, or if it's inevitable, unfortunately. But or if they're doing shit in chat, they'll be banned. So they don't play around with that.
Trigger finger.
Take care of it real quick.
It's gonna be quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. Yeah.
Galley gun. Bye.
might want to use a throwaway account for that. That's what a lot of those losers do. Yeah, you fucking use like throwaway accounts.
Oh yeah, just make all these accounts. It's fucking.
I guess one thing to be a little bitch and like talk your shit, whatever, and try to think through something. But if you're gonna like do something that's blatantly like not allowed, period, then you're gone.
Like those guys that would come in and say the N-word, I'm like, dude, you guys are fucking losers.
Literally, yeah.
I'm like, bro, you came in here just to what? Waste my time, loser.
And it's just sad because they're literally doing it while laughing too. It's like they dead ass really think that shit's comical.
It's fucking pathetic.
Or even.
I guarantee they're virgins.
And they sound like fucking high schoolers. Like the ones that were doing it on your shit, they sounded so young too.
Oh yeah, just laughing like you're like
literally
idiot,
like, bro, like these kids are from like in high school and over here like being fucking retarded.
And the guys that would stay, I like slammed a couple of them. I was like, so let me get this straight. You're so much of a bitch that my dick is that deep down your throat that you have to come on here and say that dumb shit on my stuff. He's like, yeah. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So.
But Jay, that's sexual harassment.
Yeah, fuck these losers.
You guys know what that reference is for. Juju's bitch ass.
But yeah, folks, I think that's gonna wrap it up. This is a very good stream. Yeah, we are hoping that call-in show gives you guys some entertainment. You know, I don't even give a shit. People come trying to challenge me. It's just for you guys' entertainment. That's what matters. So, to me, honestly, the way that we usually win is because I really don't give a shit. Like guys run their mouth like, you think I care? I don't.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
that's
good
why
luck with
we
that,
usually
dog.
win those exchanges because I just don't give. I literally don't care. So.
Dude, yeah.
We don't give them the intention that they really do want. We just like bitch them, make them mad. It backfires. They look like an idiot. They get shitted on.
This is fun to me. It's just all fun and games. So
it's just redundant retaliation. You know, let them do whatever they want to do. You know.
But yeah, if anyone
they get a taste of their own medicine, they learn. That's what happens.
If anyone
eventually
has guts, then feel free to come on. You know.
Obviously, if everything's chill, humble, respecting, cool, whatever, right? But you know,
at the
end of the day, you guys know how it is. It's Discord. It's you know, it's unrealistic, and there's gonna just be those retards that'll come through. So
yeah. Fair enough,
folks,
bro.
We hope you guys enjoyed. Dumb people coming in means content. Exactly. That's why I look at it.
Yeah, literally, dude.
Entertainment, bro.
That's why I'm inviting.
Imagine if Gil comes in and tries to be like Jay, debate me like 8th guy beats a Shiki.
Weeb 2.0 again.
Yeah, that shit would actually be funny because Gil, he's just so lost, bro.
He reminds me of Weeb a little bit, actually.
He is, bro. Oh, God, like when he starts doing his little rant tangents and like he's like in a whole other dimension. It's like Gil, like fuck.
Weeb was he was actually hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
He made me cry sometimes, bro, laughing.
Those videos I got on my channel are golden, bro. So they're so funny, dude.
He has like the only talent he has is just being fucking dumbass, like
even your video when you recorded when he joined your call.
Oh, dude, I was fucking dying watching that again.
He comes in, he's like, "Hello, son."
Bruh, you are slick with it, bro.
He would like throw a tantrum when I would put him in his place. He would like scoff. He's like, I'm like, what the fuck?
And he would like utter shit like, shut the fuck up.
Mumbling under his breath. And you're like, what the fuck are you saying? Why are you talking to yourself? You said something like that. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he's like, shut the fuck up.
I was like, who the fuck are you talking to, loser? And I fucking slammed him.
Like you can't hear him. Like, come on, dog.
It sounded like a dad.
Immediate response. He's like, shut the fuck up.
It sounded like a dad scolding his like toddler. That's what it sounded like. He was like under his breath. He's like, "Shut the fuck up." I'm like, "What the fuck? Speak up, bitch." That shit is hilarious. If only he was still around.
The golden days.
Yeah.
Rumor is I made him fucking go into retirement. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't never see him anymore.
He gave up.
I would let him.
That was his last interaction of him trying to fuck with me and do some cancel culture video. And then basically like fucking like bam, gone.
When he made that video, the last video he made, I
remember that.
That's so funny when he made that video where he's lying that you're a pedo, dude. I was fucking dying watching that. It's just so stupid.
Dude, yeah.
That's like the bootleg version of a Seth takedown.
Dude, that was so bad. And they were so fake. Like, the shit he was showing was so fake.
Like there was NS, not safe for work channel, and therefore Batman's a pedophile.
Yeah, dude. He was actually the only guy that make me laugh. Only one. Yeah, if anyone knows where he is, man, get him back on Discord, man.
Yeah, get him back, man. We need that shit again.
I would honestly invite him.
I think he still has, unless I'm wrong, but I think he still has access to his Discord. He just doesn't use anything anymore.
I would honestly invite him. I'm like, come on again, the call-in show, man. We'll enjoy it. Feel free and come on in.
Thanks.
If he's still on there, I'll DM him just like for shits and giggles. But hey, Weeb, come on, we need some entertainment. Get your dumb bitch ass in there. And immediately he was like,
one of the rare guys on this community that entertains me. So,
bruh.
Yeah, folks, I think it's gonna wrap it up. We appreciate you guys coming in. The next stream, call-in show, we'll probably take our time to set that up. Probably the next 2 weeks we'll do. In the next 2 streams we'll do that. Next stream will be another regular stream. We want to set up debate soon, like between all of us, to bring entertainment. Maybe I'll ask you guys, ask the public if you guys
Did
want
you
to
guys
see
want
that
to do like a
live.
Boruto tier list pretty soon too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, tier list of
something else
any
we haven't
sort
done.
would be fine.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
do that. Boruto
Or
tier
anything.
list.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be that.
Yeah, we might. That's another good idea that we have to do eventually. The Boruto tier list.
I know
as well.
you and Shinobi would go crazy on that. So.
Oh yeah, that'd be really fun actually. But yeah, we'll let you guys. Maybe we'll ask you guys publicly if you guys would like a recorded debate from us, or we do it live on a live stream.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be a stream itself.
Yeah, man. Whatever you
those
guys
will
want
be-
for sure. Yeah.
those are gonna be actual debates. Like we're gonna prepare like a week ahead of time, not like on the fly. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
we'll ask you
Yeah.
guys soon, folks. Appreciate you guys coming in, and we'll see you in the next one.